Hey. Happy Friday, everybody. It's August 11th, 2023. And I want to believe we're going to talk about aliens today, everybody. UFOs and all that fun stuff. So make sure you join us today here at the True Crime Cafe. Let's do this thing. Yo. What is going on today, everybody? Thank you so much for being here today. It's great to see you. Great to have you here. I hope you're all having an amazing start to your day today. Hope you had a great night last night. And I hope you are excited to be here today to talk about what we're going to talk about. It's going to be a little bit of a different show today. But this was all by your request. So I'm down. I'm excited. I'm ready. I'm ready to do it. Let's see who all graced us with their amazing presence today. Looks like Miss Patty Barnett's in the house. Great to have you here. No chains, no mo. Dagburn, Johnny Gobble's dead floozy mother. Thank you for joining us today. Crazy P, welcome back. Great to see you. Miss Lily C, great to have you here. So awesome to see you guys. Wisdom Speaks, Miss Sherry's in the house. Thank you for joining us today, Miss Sherry. The lovely Miss Heather, thank you for being here as always. Much appreciated. Canadian True Crime Buff, welcome, welcome, welcome. Good to have you here. Lisa and Cannoli, great to see you. Thanks for joining us today once again. Let me see. Eva Marie, great to see you. Thank you for joining us today. Afton Forward, welcome back. Good to have you. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Annie Ruler, always happy to see you. Thanks for joining us. Miss Carolyn Miller's in the house, guys. Thank you for joining us today, Carolyn. Great to see you. Crime Time with Mama Bear is in chat today, guys. Good to see you, Mama Bear. Thank you for joining us. Come on in, come on down, grab your coffee, tea, whatever it may be. Grab some popcorn if you should choose. Come on in, sit down and have a conversation with me, please. I'm excited to talk to y'all about this today. D Smalls in the house. Good to see you, Devil Doll 666. Thanks for joining us, as well as Kells. Welcome back, darling. Good to see you today. Come on down, guys. Good morning, guys, to you. Good afternoon to some of you. Good evening, good night, whatever it may be. As always, I hope it's good for you because it's good for me to be here with you. Come on down, guys. It's like we got 37 people in the chat today with 17 likes. Please make that match, guys. Let's get up there. Let's get up there. Share this out. If you would, please leave some DNA on that like button on the way in the door. Share this out to whoever you may think would like to hear this today. Anybody, anyone, please, please, please do. Bring them on in. We got plenty of room. Let's do this. Come on down, everybody. Come on down. We need to grab Miss Molly and get her on in here. I have some interesting things to talk about, some to look at. I actually have some live photos that came from Miss Molly's property of things that, well, they're unidentified, folks. How about that? So come on in, everybody. If you will, spread the word. Robert Bell, what's going on, brother? The Chick Antique is in the house. So great to see you guys. Thank you for joining us today. Come on down, everybody. Let's do this. Cassie Hackett, welcome back. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us today. Much appreciated. So very much appreciated. Come on in, guys. Find a seat. Numbers are climbing a bit. 42 peeps in the house, guys. 22 likes. Let's make a match. Let's make a match. Spread the word. Tell your friends, your neighbors, the dog, the cat, the mailman, the milkman, whoever you think would want to sit here and talk to the Dago about some aliens, guys. Let's do this. Drop a 1 in the chat if you've seen a UFO. Hey, hey. We're going to talk about it. Cammy Q, my Cammy Q's in chat, guys. Thank you for joining us, Cammy Q. It's appreciated so very much. Chick Antique's got 5 or 6 ones in there. Uh-oh. Frankie Frankenstein, great to see you. Thanks for joining us today, dear. Appreciate you. Come on in, guys. Make sure you're hitting that like button and leave that DNA on the like button for me, please. Maybe we'll open up the panel today too and hear some stories. We'll see. We'll see. We got to get some peeps in here first, though. That's right. Come on, guys. You guys voted for this. Let's do it. Let's make it a show. Please, please do. Come on in, everybody. Get comfortable. Again, I hope you guys are all having a great start to your day today. I hope you guys had an amazing evening last night. I appreciate all the kind words from everybody that was worried about me. I'm doing fine. Thank you all for that. That means the world to me, just so you know. That is so very much appreciated. Michigal's in the house. Thank you so much for joining us today. It's great to see you. Come on, come on. Come one, come all. Make sure. Oh, you know what? I probably should do. I didn't do. Give me 1 second here. I usually always share this out through Twitter, and I didn't do that today, so that might help too. Hold on a second here, folks. Or through X. I have to go through X. You know what that is. All right, we got that shared out now. Come on, come on. Let's do it. We got 50 people in here. Let's make it happen, guys. Please, please leave that DNA on the like button as you're coming in the door because the more the better. Marguerite, good to see you. Kim Jocelyn, hey, good to see you. Thank you for joining us today. Keep it 100s in the house, guys. Thank you for joining us today. It's great to see you. That is a fact. That is a fact. We got 37 likes and 58 people. Let's make it match, guys. Let's make it match. Please, please. Danger Zone's in the house. What's up, buddy? Good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Again, Marguerite, great to see you. Thanks for joining us today. Make sure I'm not missing anybody here. UFOs. UFOs. A little bit of a different topic, but it's Friday, folks. It's Friday. Let's end the week with something a little different, a little bit more relaxing. That's right. That is right. Keep it 100. New immigrants that come into the country illegally are called aliens. That is correct. Come on down, folks, please, if you will. We got 63 people in here, 39 likes. It's building, it's growing. Let's make it match, folks. Let's make it match. Come on down, everybody. Come on down. I'm excited about this one. A little bit of a break from the norm. Like I said, something a little bit different. There's so much that we can talk about with this. And so many people want to talk about these things, and it's kind of taboo in a sense. You know what I mean? But that's okay. That's okay. That's what we do here, guys. We talk about what we want to talk about. And today, I want to believe. Welcome, Carol M. Good to see you. Again, all my moderators, thank you so very much for being here. You are appreciated so very much. 1 second, folks. I'll be right back here with you. 1 second. All right, all right. It's 60 people now. 48 likes. We're getting close. We're getting close. Lulu Chu's in the house. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us today. I appreciate you being here. Maybe everybody didn't want to talk about it, but you guys voted for it, so here it is. CR, good afternoon to you. Thank you for joining us today. I appreciate you so very much. Again, on the way in the door, make sure you're smacking that like button and leaving a little DNA for me. And again, guys, if you can, after the show, please make sure that you leave a comment and let me know what you felt, what you thought, what you think, what you like, what you don't like. Either way, leave a comment for me, please, because of course I love it, and so does YouTube. Not that Nikki's in the house. Good to see you, Christina Alaska. Thank you for joining us today. It is. It's a little bit of a different topic, a little bit more fun in a sense, not so depressing, and it's Friday, guys. We should definitely kind of relax on Fridays here. Jennifer S is in the house. Great to see you. And yes, I am a huge, huge X Files fan. I am a, I mean, I've watched everything they ever did. I own the entire set of it, all of it, guys. I do. I love it. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you, Miss Heather. Once again, folks, this channel is 100% crowdfunded by you, the people. It's your channel. I just run it for you. And that's what keeps me coming out here to you guys every single day, 5, 6 days a week, time to time. That pays the bills. Anybody that likes to donate to support this channel that way, it is so very much appreciated. And that is a fact. So very much. So we post the the PayPal, the Venmo, and the Cash App links up here for anybody that would like to donate to keep supporting the channel that way. It is appreciated. It pays the bills and it keeps me coming every day, folks. So thank you for that. Anybody that has donated to it in the past, you have no idea how much it's appreciated. And anybody that will donate to it here in the future, the same, guys. It keeps me coming out here. Thank you for that. Let me see here. We got Los Federalists again is back in the house again today. It's great to see you. Thanks for joining us. Always happy. Carrie Louise from the UK. Welcome, welcome. Great to see you here. And CR with the first super sticker of the day. $4. Thank you so very much for that, CR. You are appreciated. More than you know. Dakota's in the house. What's happening, Dakota? Good to see you. William Tardy, my friend. Welcome back. Good to see you. Stacy Cruz, welcome in. Great to have you here. We are climbing them charts, folks. 79 amazingly beautiful people here to support this today, guys. I appreciate you so very much. Let's make it match. We got 57 likes and 82 people now. Let's do this, guys. Please make it match. If we can get out into that algorithm, folks, we will definitely have a ball with this today. That's a fact. Crime sleuthing in the house. That's right. The truth is out there. I want to believe. Jules of all trades, dear. It's so great to see you, darling. Thank you for joining us today. I'm bringing everybody in on this one. Yay, yay. Yes, it's Friday, folks. We need to enjoy ourselves a little bit and step back from the dramatic, depressing true crime that we look at all day, every day throughout this week, and look into something a little different if we can. Seriously, if we can. What are we talking about here, William? Where did it go? Hold on a minute here. Boom. There it is. Thank you again, CR, for that. You are appreciated. It is, Carol. It's nice to have a change. It brightens the mood, gives you a better perspective for the coming week, what we do cover on a regular, Raul Kurvitz, thank you for joining us today. It's good to see you. Oof, excuse me, folks. 88 people in here. Come on down, guys. 63 likes. Again, let's please make that match. If we can break 100 people in here, get 100 likes in here, we can get out in that algorithm and do our thing. Yes, we can. There he is. What's up, CJ? Thank you for being here, brother. Come on in, everybody. I'm gonna do this here real quick. There's a link, CJ, if you'd like to join me. It'd be appreciated. If not, no worries. Gloria S, great to see you. Doodlebug Fart, thank you for joining us today. And another one. Thank you, CJ, for that, bro. There's a cup of coffee or two. Thank you for that, brother. Another super sticker. Very much appreciated. Great to have that. Tina JP, thank you for joining us today. It's great to see you. Welcome, all you meatballs, by the way. Thank you for jumping in here today and floating around in this sauce with me. And maybe we're going to spill a little bit of different kind of sauce today. It's a different flavor, folks. How about that? Yay, yay. No worries, bud. No worries. Nina, great to see you as well. Crime Sleuthing, Miss Jules, all of you guys. It's great to see you guys in here today. I do appreciate you. The one I'm looking for, Miss Molly, Tanya Clements. Welcome, Vanessa. Great to see you. I was hoping Miss Molly was going to be here because she's the one that she's got the inside, folks. All right, Pammy B's in the house. Good to see you. Thank you. 101 amazing people in here with 73 likes. If we can make that match, folks, we can get it out there. We can get it out there. It is great to see you too, Nina. Thank you for that, CR. Thank you for that as well. I appreciate you guys so very much. Los Federales says, my only question is the following. All these advancements in technology and not a single person in all of history can provide video evidence that doesn't look like it was shot on a 1990 cell phone. It's a great point. Great point. Mikey's in the house. What's up, brother? Good to have you here. Jojo, welcome back. Good to see you. It's great to have you all here. It's great to see you all, too. I hope you're all doing well, happy, and healthy today. Reverend Cynthia Hughes, welcome. Good morning to you. Country Sunset, that's a new name. Welcome. Good to see you. I love seeing the new faces. Come on in, everybody. Please find a seat. Plenty of room. And guys, make sure that if you can, anybody that you see that's new has a newer face in here. If you'd like to, I would appreciate it if you'd welcome them all as we do with anybody that's new. Make them feel at home and show them how appreciative we are of the new faces and the new people jumping in here. Thank you, Miss Heather. There's a link there for the lovely Miss Jules of All Trades True Crime channel. Guys, if you haven't checked her out, please go over there, show a little bit of love for me, if you will, and let her know that we appreciate her. And she's got some great stuff, folks. Please. Renee M., good afternoon. Great to see you. There's the link for that as well. And of course, thank you, Miss Heather. Of course, the Evil CJ show. Our brother in arms, CJ, got one of the greatest shows on the internet. If you guys would please go over, show some love over there as well. Click on that little link there, subscribe, and show the love, please, if you will. It's so very much appreciated. North Carolina Mountain Man's in the house. What's up, brother? What is up, Earthlings? That's right. That's right. That's awesome. Good to have you here. Kelly Miller's in the house. Good to see you, Kelly. Thank you for joining us today, darling. I appreciate you so very much. Great to have you here. Just got done watching CJ Love his show. That's right. We do love that show. One of these days, guys, you may see a show with us, the two of us together. Yes, you may. a regular show, because you guys always see us together, but you know what I mean. Dago, I apologize. Amazon says it's running. I didn't know what you were talking about there, buddy. Monitors. Is that, did you pick up, did you send me monitors? Seriously? Is that what you were talking about up here? Whoa, bro. For real? Wow. No, I appreciate you more, Miss Kelly, for just being here. I absolutely do. Jabba and jokes in the morning. Yes, yes. We're going to do that one day. I'm telling you guys, we will have a radio show one of these days. We have the same likes, the same interests, the same things. I just put that together. William, that's absolutely amazing, brother. You have no idea how much I appreciate that. Wow. Thank you, Jojo. I appreciate that so very much, darling. 112 people with 80 likes. Come on, guys. We're almost there. Bared to kill you all. Thank you for joining us today. That is absolutely awesome, Jules. You have no idea how much I needed that. That's amazing. William, you are a lifesaver, my friend. That's so amazing. Thank you so much for that, brother. Damn. David Grusch is an American hero. Yes. For those of you that hadn't seen uh listen, bro. No, please don't apologize at all. Like, are you serious? I know how Amazon works, buddy. I'm beyond grateful, and you're dropping a super chat too. Come on now. You are amazing, my friend, and thank you for that so very much. You rock and roll, brother. For real. That is amazing. I will be doing my thing the right way. Yes. You guys, all of you guys, I just can't get past. See, I can though. I can though. You know, I had a little bit of a dream when I started doing this, that I would be able to bring together non-existent it. Thank you for joining us, sir. I would be able to bring together the best people out here, okay, into one community, put it together, and do what we do in here. And I have absolutely achieved that, folks, because you guys are all absolutely the best people on the planet, in my opinion. You really are, all of you. And we're all together in one area. It's absolutely amazing. The love and appreciation and the care that you guys treat us with. You know, I know CJ feels the exact same way. It's absolutely amazing. Didn't you just hit 5K? Yeah, I hit 5K about a month ago, and then I hit 6K about 2 weeks ago. So yes, and it's beyond appreciated. I have all of these awesome people together in one space. It blows my mind. Chelly the Southern, good to see you. Thank you for jumping in here with us. Bad Slave, welcome back. Great to have you here. Cherry, wonderful to see you. I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna cry. I just can't get past the just how amazing you guys are. You know, you guys heard something was wrong with me yesterday, and everybody jumped and said, "Oh my God, are you okay?" This, that, and everything else. You guys are just beautiful people. Period. Please don't ever change anything about yourselves, and don't ever allow anybody to tell you that you're anything less than what I've said you are, because you're not. You're amazing. We do have a wish list here, Kelly. That's what he did that with. Which somebody brought that to my attention, said to clean it up, put it back up there. I never really messed with it too much, but I did, and here we are. So that's beyond amazing. CJ is acquired. We naturally like. Thank you, non-existent. CJ's awesome. I love CJ. He is my brother in arms for sure. Thank you, Lulu. I appreciate that. And thank you, William. I'm glad that you feel at home here because I want you to. As far as I'm concerned, you guys are my extended family, and this is your home. So thank you for that. Shattered Dimensions, my brother. This is our karaoke, bro. What's happening, bro? Awesome. It is great to have you here, bro. So great to have you here. Thank you, Mountain Man. I appreciate that, brother. I really do. I really do. I'm doing good though. Doing good. Bad Slave with us. Still super chat 9.99. Love you, Dago. Glad you're feeling better. Hope this can help with knocking out that wish list. Amen, brother. And I appreciate you. Or I'm sorry. Uh, I don't know if you're male or female, but either way, much love to you. Thank you for that. Bad Slave. Love you, Dago. I'm not sure. I don't want to be insulting, but I hope I was right. Thank you, Heather, for that. There is the wish list. If anybody is interested, it's pinned in the chat, and I appreciate that. So now I guess I need to remove that. Yeah, good stuff. Deb, I appreciate that. It makes sense. Um, and I'm just still, I'm over the, I can't believe that, William. That's absolutely amazing. Wow. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Wow. You guys are great. Absolutely great. And how you going to call me out and tell me, are you going to cry, Mama Bear? Seriously? I'm not a crybaby. I do cry at times, but I'm not a crybaby. I can hold it together most of the time. Call me out like that. Jeez. 331 people in here. We have 93 likes. We're almost there, folks. Almost there. Oh, does that work? Okay, Heather. Thank you. I see. I don't know much about that thing, but thank you for that. I appreciate you. Probably. Cherry. I will. Yeah. It's not that bad. It just it sprung a leak. You know, not to be gross, but I got it covered though. I have not, Deb. I have not seen or heard anything like I now in the area I live in has for sure, and it actually made unsolved mysteries. Um, Shelly, please don't ever feel like you have to explain that or feel a certain kind of way. Some people are able to do things, some people are not. The fact that you're here, Bonnie Bailey, good to see you. The fact that you're here and supporting me in this channel and supporting this channel for everyone else, that's all that matters. You don't have to ever explain yourself, nor do you have to feel bad about that. Please, that goes for anybody. Like I said, some people can afford to do that. Some people can't. Okay. It's not like that. Blue Flame, good to see you. Thank you for joining us. And again, what are you doing, bro? Easy now. Thank you for that. Very much appreciated, brother. You don't need to do that. I appreciate it, though. Kaleidoscope, great to see you. Damn, CJ. You guys are making me have a good day today. What's up with that? I just can't believe you did that, William. That's so awesome. My dad and his friends saw one in the late 40s and were newspapers over it. Wow. You know, my mom has told me, and my aunt has told me she's seen him too. All right, we did it, guys. We broke that algorithm. Yes. Where is Molly? I really wanted Molly here. Dang it, dang it, dang it, dang it. I'm going to message her because I have actual live photographs and videos from Molly's property where she lives, folks, showing something on here, okay? And I want you guys, I want her to see this when I show you guys. What just happened in here? Looks like chains. Gifted 5 memberships. That is so amazing. Pammy B was gifted a membership. It looks like a bread to kill you all was gifted a membership. Los Federals gifted a membership. Becky Schreider was gifted a membership. That is so awesome, Chains. Thank you, darling, so much for that. You rock and roll, darling. You really do. We love Chains. We really do love her. Jules is stating the current Peru story is odd, but I think it's BS. I think it's people messing with other people who aren't used to tech to see how the response is. Good point, Jules. Great point. Thank you, Carol. You're the best. I will argue that till I'm blue in the face that you're best. You're the best, not I. You got something. It's not, well, what the heck? Well, thank you, Gloria. That is so very much appreciated. I love surprises, that's for sure. Mrs. Kelly, thank you for joining us. Appreciate you being here. Keeper, True Crime and Paranormal, great to have you here. I have not, but we're going to do that today. That's what this today's all about. Keeper, True Crime, alien attacks in Peru, guys. How about that? That's what Jules was just stating. That she thinks it might be BS, but it is interesting. It very much is. Molly, golly, lolly, lolly. Where are you, Molly? Hold on. Let me get to her, guys, and we're gonna get rolling with this. We are gonna get rolling with this. All right, I sent her a message. I hope she gets it. Tina B, good to see you. Joanne, welcome back, darling. Good to have you here. Good to see you. Wow, you guys are on it today. I feel super extra special today. I got gifts coming. I got people gifting memberships all over the place. I mean, that's crazy. Brandy B, the OG, just stopped in to say, hey, on my way to Children's Hospital with Matthew. Have fun, guys. I hope everything goes well, Brandy. Please let me know. You got my prayers and thoughts coming your way. Give Matthew a big hug from Uncle Dago and let him know we're thinking about him. Please, if you will. Baby Boop, great to see you. And thank you, I am. I actually got some real sleep last night, too, guys. How about that one? Joel says, I think it's a military plane with them to see what happens. There's been a lot of new info about that area come out since those reports started taking over Peru's mainstream media. That's a fact. Interesting, isn't it, folks? Thank you, Joanne. I'm feeling wonderful. I appreciate that. I will definitely do that, brother William. I still can't believe that. You have no clue how much that means to me right now. I was at the point where everything was done, and I'm in the corner of a screen right now trying to work this out. It's not that easy, guys. These things just don't work that well. Budford, what's going on? Great to see you here. Thanks for joining us. You did more than help, brother. You really did. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so very much. Sorceress, welcome back. Great to see you. Cappuccino 877. It's great to have you here. We got 152 beautiful people here, guys. We are out in the algorithm right now, bringing it to the whole world, folks. And that is what matters. Anybody out there that is into aliens, UFOs, and wants to talk about it, this is the place today because that's what we're doing. Hell yeah. Happy Friday to you all. I hope for those of you that are hard workers out there, it's the end of your work week and you're getting to hang out and enjoy it with me right now to start your weekend off. Wizard Walt, good to see you. Thanks for joining us, my friend. All right, here we go. Give me a second, guys. Bernice Rivera, welcome back. Good to see you. You guys are so awesome. All right, let's start this off here.
Seeing is an alien invasion. That means at some point they're probably going to demand to be taken to our leader. And what are we going to say then? This is Kamala Harris. She once dated Montel Williams, but now she runs our country because her boss is senile. Ooh, pretty embarrassing. Thankfully, it doesn't look like that's going to happen. Privately, the U.S. government does not believe these things came from another planet. Here you have 3 unknown objects in 3 days. If these things are extraterrestrial, what we're seeing is an alien invasion. And that means at some point they're probably going to demand to be taken to our leader. And what are we going to say then? This is Kamala Harris. Ooh, pretty embarrassing.
And that's how we're going to start this off, guys. So anyway, like I said, there's been a lot of stuff going on most recently, okay? And I'm going to show you this. And here's where the thing is. How do we prove hoax or not, okay? You guys remember the scenario that happened here about a month ago in Las Vegas, right? With the police officers that were involved and all that fun stuff. I know you guys remember.
It was the streak seen across the sky, now seen around the world. This, as our 8 News Now investigators confirm, Metro actually set up cameras at this home where a family called 911 claiming to see aliens in their backyard. And tonight, a fierce debate is underway about the legitimacy of an alleged UFO crash. Good evening. I'm Janice Valdez.
And I'm Brian Loftus. Our 8 News Now investigators reporting about terrified members of a local family who told police they had aliens in their backyard. Chief Investigator George Knapp here to piece it all together.
You know, as with all things UFO, the public debate is ferocious and ongoing. Was it all a hoax? Were we duped? Was it all an evil plot, a cover-up, all of the above? We took another look at the hubbub to separate wheat from chaff. The fireball captured on a police body cam on the night of April 30th was real. The American Meteor Society says witnesses reported seeing it all across the West, from northeastern Utah to Southern California. Another Las Vegas resident sent us a video of the same object recorded on her home camera.
Investigation by Nexstar station KLAS.
As the story of the Las Vegas incident spread across newscasts and social media, one of NASA's planetary defense officers weighed in to say it was likely a small meteor that fell to Earth hundreds of miles away from Las Vegas. Police videos obtained by 8 News Now indicate Metro officers were among the witnesses.
One of my partners said they saw something fall out of the sky too, so that's why I'm kind of curious.
The appearance of the meteor seemingly triggered the events that followed. A frightened family called 911 and told police they had 10-foot-tall alien beings in their backyard. Officers responded to the home minutes later, interviewed the witnesses, canvassed the area, and cautiously inspected the backyard to look for intruders. One thing noticed by the officers was a circle in the soil. In conversations with us and in a podcast interview, Angel, the main witness, suggested the circle might have been created when an unknown object landed in the yard. Social media sleuths have since pointed out that the circular image has been viewable via Google Earth for more than a year. The family told us by phone they had seen suspicious vehicles with men in black types checking out their home. Turns out there is substance to that. A retired police officer fessed up on News Nation that he spent days staking out the house to see what, if anything, unfolded. What about those reports that Metro installed a special surveillance camera atop the house, presumably to watch for intruders, human or otherwise, or overzealous media? Turns out that's true as well. Metro confirmed as much in a statement to 8 News Now's David Charnes. The system stayed on the roof for days. What about the Ring camera video with the weird noise? The main witness, Angel, intimated to us the video was recorded by one of his neighbors, and the audio was from the April 30th UFO crash. It wasn't. The security camera video was recorded in mid-April, according to the man who first posted the clip. He doesn't want his name used, but says the recording was from a fireball that passed over his home in the southwestern part of the valley 2 weeks prior to the alleged alien encounter. The family declined to be interviewed by us, but members have spoken elsewhere and stick to their claims of seeing aliens in the backyard. Dozens of people on social media have analyzed and dissected the images with various claims of aliens spotted in the shadows. Police do not believe this was a hoax call, which could be a crime if done intentionally. In the fervid swamp known as UFO world, our coverage of the story was itself seen as a dastardly plot to distract attention away from a prominent whistleblower named David Grusch, who stepped forward around the same time. Grusch unveiled his explosive on-camera account on News Nation, which is owned by the parent company of KLAS. In spite of the local news story, Grusch's story was reported by news media all over the world. Curses foiled again.
All right. So, I mean, what do you make of this whistleblower, David Grusch?
He first reached out to me about a year ago. We've been in contact ever since. He's the real deal. I mean, he had a distinguished career in the Air Force. Then he went to work for a 3-letter agency you probably haven't heard of, the NGA, which basically tracks everything in space, in the air, in the ocean, under the ocean, on land. They keep tracks of everything. He has the highest security clearances in our government. And in that capacity, he interacted with something like 2,000 SAP, special access programs. And he learned along the way that we're reverse engineering crash flying saucers, and he's been telling that to Congress under oath behind closed doors. And I think they'll probably bring him back. So it's a pretty intriguing story. A lot like what we've been hearing about out in the Nevada desert for a long time.
Right. Of all the stories you've done over decades and decades, this one has really gone worldwide.
The backyard alien?
Yes.
Oh, it's crazy. It's crazy how much email we get, you know. We're not done with it. We'll see where it goes.
I was going to say, this is not the last of that story.
No.
All right, George, thanks for that. Now let's
And there we go, guys, kicking it off. Yes, there's a lot of stuff going on right now. David Grusch, especially, is somebody that has definitely started speaking recently on this type of stuff. Okay, it was kind of, you know, the biggest thing. You can make what you want of that. Okay, that's up to your guys' discretion what you think. I'm not gonna say one way or the other what I think of it at this point. That's right. Bob Lazar tried to warn us. That's a fact. No lies there, brother. No lies there. So, you know, I'll be honest with you. That term, I want to believe, I really kind of do. I'll be honest with you. I do kind of want to believe. I'll say this, okay? I find it hard to believe and how we could be so arrogant as to think that we are the only living species in this entire galaxy. We'll say that first, okay? Because look at us. You know, why are we, and I say the word arrogant lightly, guys. I use it lightly. I'm not saying that we're arrogant as a people, but for people that don't believe that there's anybody, that there's nobody else out there, why? Why couldn't there be? You know? And I'm sure that if there is, there probably, you know, if it could go one of many different directions, folks, when you think about it. They're probably afraid of us because of what we do. You guys see how we are. Spence, what's going on? This is just down your alley, buddy. What do we do to ourselves, our planet, to each other? Good to see you, Diana. Thanks for joining us. I mean, if I was watching down on this planet from another planet per se, I'd be like, wow, look at these crazy ass people. You know what I'm saying? I'm just telling you guys, like it's crazy. No wonder they don't want people to know if they're out there. No wonder they don't want us to know about it. I'm just telling you. Just telling you. That's my opinion. Scooby-Doo taught us that the real monsters are human. That's right, Jennifer. I love it. I love it. Scooby tells you everything, folks. He does. Scooby knows what he's talking about. Him and Freddy and all of them, they know exactly what they're talking about. Telling you. So, yeah, guys, I mean, why should we think that we are the only living species? Seriously. We may be the bottom of the chain for all we know, guys. You know what I'm saying? Think about it like that. It is absolutely fascinating to me to think about that kind of stuff. Seriously, it really is. Now, there's been a lot of talk about what's going on in Peru, okay? And I'm going to give you
This has happened before.
This news, we all know who this is. That's all I'm going to say. You guys will figure out where I'm going with this in a second when you see who I'm talking about. And of course, she's got lots to say about it, as she always does. The best news station on the world, right here. Ashley Banfield. So anyway, moving forward. Hell yeah, CJ, that would be great. That would be great. Animated cartoon characters of us by the Mystery Machine. Because you all know what I keep very close to me and very dear to me. My very own Mystery Machine, folks. Yes. With Freddy and Scooby and my boy Shaggy. Yes, yes, yes. And I even have Velma in here somewhere. There it is. I am a huge fan of Scooby-Doo. Always have been. So moving forward, this is a little bit into what's going on in Peru. Loves to paint. Great to have you back here. Great to see you. Thanks for joining us today. Michelle Mack, welcome back. Great to see you. Thank you for joining us. It's very possible, yes. So let's check this out, guys, and see what Miss Banfield has to say about this scenario. I absolutely, same here, Nina. I watch it every day, at least twice a day. My grandchildren love it. My children love it. I love it. There's even a series, folks, that they started that I found on YouTube. It's called Mystery Inc. It's a TV series, a real life TV series, and it's Scooby-Doo. And I've only found 2 episodes of it. I don't know what happened to it or why, but it just makes me mad that they didn't keep going with it if they didn't. That's all. Yeah, I'll be honest with you guys. CJ reminds me of Shaggy. He does. I don't know why. He just does. When I'm around, he reminds me of Shaggy. And Jules reminds me of Velma. I've already done this in my head, folks. I've already done this in my head. So I just got to put that out there. We got a little Scooby-Doo crew of our own kind of going on around here. Seriously. All right, Deb, thank you for being in here, hon. I appreciate you so very much. Yeah, that's what I've been having going on in my head. I'll be honest with you. CJ is Shaggy, Jules is Velma, and we have to build on the rest of it still. So anyway, Chains is Daphne. All right then. Either way, you guys pick and choose who you want it to be. What's going on? Chris and Chris 10. Yo, 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 everybody. Happy Friday. Heather says she sees it. I'm telling you, it's there. It's there. I don't know exactly who I would be in the group because I sure as hell don't look like Freddy, but who knows? Maybe I'm Scooby. Maybe I'm Scooby. That could be it right there. Scooby-Doo is awesome, period. All right, let's see what Miss Ashley has to say about this, guys.
Miners will go in and try to scare the wits out of villagers by pretending to look like aliens, etc. Ben Hansen is an expert before. miners will go in and try to scare the wits out of villagers by pretending to look like aliens, etc. Ben Hansen is an expert. He is like one of the best UFO investigators out there, and he was one of the first people to throw cold water on all of this. So what was your first clue, Ben? You were so quick with your assessment.
Well, thanks for teeing me up for such high expectations, first of all. So what's really weird about this, the whole thing is weird. Okay, so let's try to unpack this a little bit. The events, a lot of the events that are being reported are true. We have video of the authorities showing up. We have video of the villagers running out into the jungle shooting at something. Okay, but after the investigation, what they come out with is they say that the prosecutor says that they believe the police investigation summarizes that these were miners protecting gold, okay, with jetpacks, that they're flying around on jetpacks with hoods and masks and glowing something and going around cutting people's throats. So let that sit just for a second. It really sounds like an episode of Scooby-Doo where, you know, Mr. Withers puts on a goblin mask and is trying to protect his gold. It is almost far-fetched as the fact that the villagers believe these are 7-foot aliens.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.
If it's Wednesday and abortion.
See, I do that all the time. Sorry, guys, I was muted. There's CJ, like I said. There's Jules. And then, well, according to CJ, that's me. I don't have a Daphne yet. I'll get there, though. Sorry about the muting thing. So, yeah, that was quick with the whole Peru thing. They're saying that the miners are dressing up as aliens and jetpacks and all this stuff. I mean, come on, guys. What the hell is going on? They're saying that it's fake in some senses, but I don't really know. Like, that's the problem. That is the problem. Here, let's check this out here, guys, and see what this has to say.
Now to an elect.
Let's see what these gentlemen are having to say. This is from a channel called Redacted, folks. They're talking about the scenario over in Peru. Thank you, Nina. I appreciate it. I do, too. I love Scooby-Doo. I always have. I have a lot of Scooby-Doo toys that I collect. All right. So this channel here, again, is called Redacted. They're talking about what's going on in Peru. We're going to move past. We're going to talk about Peru here a little bit, and I got some other things to show you. It is, Bernice. It's too funny for me, too. Jetpacks. They're using jetpacks. They're putting on masks. They're running around slitting people's throats and stealing people's gold. PW is in the house. What is up, darling? Good to see you. It's been a while. Ka. Thank you. Awesome. So let's check this out here. Heather is a great Daphne. Yep, Heather could be Daphne for sure. We got Heather. We got I mean, we can all take a part in this. You know, everybody can have their own part. Oh, cool stuff. Yeah, I've heard of that one too. Blue Flame. I couldn't remember. Yes. Yep. That was it. And I had something from him a while ago. But yeah, that's bingo. Thank you for reminding me of that. Casey Kasem. Yes, he was. Yes, he was. All right. Moving forward. Again, this comes from a channel called Redacted. They're discussing what happened in Peru. And I want you guys to listen and come up with what you think may be going on in that sense. Okay.
A group of ETs, yes, extraterrestrial beings. This is all over the Peruvian news over the past few days.
Was this faked? Was this carried out by humans, made to look like an alien attack, preparing us?
All right. Can you guys hear me okay? Can you guys hear me okay? You're saying you can't hear me, Paranormal? You might have to go out and come back in. I have seen that, Shelly. Yes, you can hear me? Okay, good deal. Moving forward.
Us for a fake alien invasion, of course, something we've been very worried about from the deep state and the military-industrial complex. Is this fake or is this 100% authentic? Let's try to get some answers. Timothy Alberino is a filmmaker and a journalist who's lived in the very same jungle as these Peruvian villagers and had some very strange things happen to him in this same region. And he joins us now to have a wide-ranging discussion about it. Timothy, welcome to the show. I love your research and I love what you're doing. Thanks and welcome to Redacted.
Well, thanks so much for having me on.
Our pleasure. So let's start with these villagers, right? I don't think we particularly know exactly 100% the details here, whether or not this is real, whether or not this is faked. Let's just start with what these villagers say what happened. I want to play a piece of this Spanish news report here, and then we'll come back and we'll translate this and we'll talk about exactly what is happening here. And you can start with this gunfire. Watch.
Se trata de habitantes de la tribu Iquitu del distrito de Alto Nanay en Loreto, quienes denuncian ser víctimas de violentos ataques por parte de seres desconocidos.
Necesitamos apoyo para nuestra comunidad. Los niños, mira, se ve, los niños no duermen, están ahí las madres desvelándose, señores. Son extraterrestres estos señores, son vestidos con blindados, son tipo del hombre verde.
Let me try that again. Maybe I can get the English. That way you can understand what's going on. Sorry, folks.
The details here, whether or not this is real, whether or not this is faked. Let's just start with what these villagers say what happened. I want to play a piece of this Spanish news report here, and then we'll come back and we'll translate this and we'll talk about exactly what is happening here. And you can start with this gunfire. Watch.
Se trata de habitantes de la tribu Iquitu del distrito de Alto Nanay en Loreto, quienes denuncian ser víctimas de violentos ataques por parte de seres desconocidos.
Necesitamos apoyo para nuestra comunidad. Los niños, mira, se ve, los niños no duermen, están ahí las madres desvelándose, señores. Son extraterrestres estos señores, son vestidos con blindados, son tipo del hombre verde que parecía el hombre araña, igualitos, son señores. Yo les valió 2 veces y no caen, en vez de que caen se elevan y se desaparecen, señores.
Okay, so we saw gunfire, it's dark. We hear the tribal leader talking about this. What was he saying? And what were we seeing in these first few seconds of this news report?
Okay, so this incident began when a 15-year-old girl was abducted by strange beings in the jungle. She's from this village. These are the Iquitu tribe, members of the Iquitu tribe. It's the village of San Antonio. It's in the district of Alto Nanay, near Iquitos. And apparently this 15-year-old girl was abducted and she was able to break free from her captors. She ran back to the village. She sustained lacerations to her neck. There's pictures of her online with her neck bandaged up and bloodied. And you can actually see the lacerations. And when the villagers found her, she was in a state of shock. I read that she was in shock for a few hours, couldn't talk. She was just terrorized, absolutely terrorized by whatever had happened to her. And at first, I think the villagers, they didn't know what happened to her. They assumed that whoever had attempted to abduct her were human perpetrators. And so they grabbed their guns and they started running through the jungle looking for these individuals. And instead of finding human beings, what they encountered ostensibly were these strange entities, which the villagers themselves are calling extraterrestrials, definitively. They're very unambiguous about this. And in that video, that's what that gentleman is saying. He is the leader of the tribe in that particular village. And they've been terrorized not just one day, but ongoing for weeks. And this has been happening primarily at nighttime. He said that they're not sleeping. The videos that have surfaced show these guys shining their flashlights around the trees that surround the village. They're shouting. They're obviously in a genuine state of terror. All the women and children are huddling together in the middle of the village as the men are walking around the perimeter with their guns and flashlights, and they're firing at something in the jungle. They've got shotguns, they've got rifles, and they're shooting at something in the jungle. And according to these gentlemen, these villagers, what they're seeing are 7-foot-tall entities that are arrayed in silver armored bodysuits. The gentleman makes reference to the Green Goblin from Spider-Man. And what he means is that in the same way that character in that movie had that bodysuit with armor on it.
Right.
That's what he's talking about, in a mask. Sometimes they're saying these entities have a mask. Sometimes they're saying also that they're dressed in cloaks with hoods. But I think they're referencing to the legend of the pelacaras, the face peelers, who approach these villages and try to abduct people, and they're often dressed in cloaks. They're saying that one of the interesting details is that these entities apparently have discs on the bottom of their shoes that project a red light.
What's up, Jeff?
And that enable them to float off the ground through the jungle about a meter off the ground, and they can also lift off into the air. So when the villagers fire at these entities, they see them, they shoot them. The entities are apparently bulletproof, and they disappear or they float off into the jungle. That's what they're saying. And the way that they're describing these entities disappearing is reminiscent of the Predator from the movie, where they sort of disappear, but you can kind of still see them moving around. And in fact, there's videos of the villagers flashing their flashlights, and they actually in one video, they see the entity that appears to be behind a tree up in the sky, either sitting in the tree or floating behind it, and they put the flashlight on it. And I think, now of course this is subjective, but I think you can actually see the entity. It moves its head and it looks like a large gray alien. And it has that bulbous head with the large almond-shaped black eyes. In fact, you can even see the flashlight shining off of the eyes, and it slightly moves its head around. And I believe that is actually what these natives are encountering, and what they're shooting at are these beings that they're seeing with their flashlights at nighttime. So I don't know what exactly is occurring there. I can't confirm or deny any of it, but I will tell you this. The villagers were so distraught that they demanded the presence of the Navy to come and help them with this problem, to protect them, to defend them against whatever this is that's attacking them. They haven't been getting sleep. They've been staying up all night, the men, in a state of vigilance, and they're very distraught. I mean, that is for sure. Whatever's going on, these people are very disturbed by what's happening. The Navy showed up. The police were on the scene. They did an investigation. And what did they conclude? I believe today, the Peruvian press, by the way, has been taking this very seriously.
I was going to say, in a lot of the reports I've watched out of Peru, you'd think that they would do it how the United States does it, sort of jokingly. They'll play X-Files music, behind it. They'll say, now to a funny story in Las Vegas where a group of people think they saw aliens in their backyard. They didn't handle it that way at all. The Peruvian press across the board has been treating this as very serious.
Gravely serious. That's how they've been treating it. Interestingly enough, today there's an official narrative coming out
from the Peruvian government.
From the Peruvian government, the Navy is saying we investigated and we've determined that it's minors.
Angry
It's
miners?
illegal miners.
Illegal
It's illegal
miners.
miners. So there is a historical precedent for this.
Who can
The
float?
miners, when the miners want to operate in a particular area, especially if there's a native tribe in the area who have legal right to the land, they'll try and scare them off, and they will use one of the many legends. There's many legends of different things in the jungle, paranormal stuff, and they will dress up and pretend that they're the Chukchuyaki, for example, and run around and try and scare the villagers away off of the land that they want to mine. And they're mining both on land, but primarily in the water. They dump mercury in the water. It's a very destructive form of mining, and it's illegal. And they have done that in the past, but like you said, they're not so sophisticated that they can float around in the jungle, A, and B, they're certainly not bulletproof.
Right.
And these miners are not going to continually harass a village that is shooting at them with rifles and shotguns.
Right. And now with all the media attention, and they've been repeatedly, even despite the media attention, right? So you have cameras there now, and this has been happening in multiple locations. In fact, recently, it seems like about a month and a half to maybe 2 months ago, another report of this sort of Pelicata story, this idea of the face peelers. A man's body is found right in, I don't know if it was in the water or nearby, with his face like entirely removed, almost like surgically removed. But you lived in these villages. You lived in this area of the jungle, and you experienced some pretty remarkable things as well. Can you talk a little bit about that? What you saw when you were
Well,
there?
I can't go into detail because it would take a very long time, but let's just say that I've experienced paranormal activity in the jungle in those areas. And I've never taken ayahuasca, by the way. In fact, I dropped out of high school, moved to the Amazon when I was 18 years old. And I spent a lot of time in the jungle, and I lived with the villagers. I lived with with hunters and with lumberjacks, very, very close to this region, basically in the same jungle. And I know a lot about their legends.
I'm good
As I said,
now.
I've had my own experiences.
Thank you for joining us.
Not anything exactly like this, but different kinds of paranormal experiences. But what's interesting is this legend of the Pelacaras. Now, this is an old legend in the jungle, and it's a living legend. It's not something that used to happen. This is ongoing. This is something that the jungle people will tell you about. The Pelacaras. Pelacara means face peelers. And the legend says that these entities, these face peelers, abduct people from the villages and they mutilate them, much like the cattle mutilations that we're all familiar with in the United States.
These people are terrified, and this video is compelling. And of course, it brings up a larger question about, well, is this sort of laying the groundwork now in these sort of remote villages for this idea of an alien invasion, right? And what we've been warning people about on our show with interviews with Dr. Stephen Greer and Dr. Michael Salla and others is that the idea that the deep state, that the military-industrial complex will, of course, has been pushing for disclosure of what these recovered craft and alien bodies, et cetera, but they're going to say that they are nefarious. And they're going to sort of push us into sort of a defensive posture, that the reason we need to spend billions more for our military budget is because they are dangerous creatures. And so when I see something like this, I have to, my skeptical eye peers at it and says, what is going on here? You know, is this some sort of cooperative effort with these creatures and the United States government, or some sort of a governmental entity, or is this purely what it is, face value?
Well, that would be terrifying if it was, if the government was cooperating with 7 foot tall gray alien beings. That would be the worst case scenario, I think, actually. I'd rather have it just be extraterrestrials.
Right.
But, you know, this is interesting because when we look at what's happening in our own government, General Milley just came out, I think yesterday, and said, basically discounted Grusch's testimony and said that, no, the military doesn't have any evidence of alien crash retrievals or certainly alien bodies, anything like that. So it's a public denial of David Grusch's testimony. So what we're seeing, at least in the United States, and I think what we're seeing in Peru right now as well, is a dual narrative at work. And I talked to my friend Richard Dolan, who's I think the preeminent ufologist of our generation. And Richard and I agree that we have a dual narrative coming out of the government. You have a secrecy group that wants to keep the lid on this thing. And then you have another group apparently inside of the DoD and the intelligence community that wants to inform the public, wants some level of disclosure. So there isn't one dominating narrative here. There seems to be a conflict raging behind the scenes in regard to disclosure, and that's playing out in the response, the official response from the Pentagon regarding Grusch's and the other individuals' testimonies, and Milley. So you have the military's position. You have other people coming out in the intelligence community who are both affirming Grusch's testimony and denying it. So you have a dual narrative here. You have a conflict raging behind the scenes, and I think that explains a lot of what's going on. There's not one narrative that's being pushed. There are two. There's a push for disclosure, and there's a push for non-disclosure happening right now.
Or I would even say, I agree with you 100%. Although I would even say the push for non-disclosure may be falling in line with it's a threat disclosure. And we need to keep it, we need to keep it in this lane here. We will disclose it like Milley. Yes, there are UAPs. We will disclose that part of it, but we believe it's a threat. We're not going to go so far as to, the Grusch side of things. And I think maybe that's what's these two dual narratives that we're seeing sort of emerging.
Well, I'm going to agree that there is a real danger here for, let's say, a global response to an alien threat. The consolidation of power by let's say a global cabal, right? The one world government, this desire to form a one world government, the new world order, that this certainly could be furthered by citing an alien threat, right? Advanced alien beings that are in possession of technology that is far advanced of anything that we have. They obviously constitute a global threat, right? And so what does a global threat require? A global response. And so you can see how this could be used. And I think it will be used. I think you're correct that it will be used to consolidate power in a global body. And that is, of course, a threat to the sovereignty of the United States. So I would agree with that. But at the same time, I also want to acknowledge that there is an alien threat. I think the alien threat is legitimate. I mean, we have, for example, we have a large body of data relating to alien abductions. And that data lends itself to scientific inquiry. It has all the proof, all the evidence you would ever need to prove that the gray aliens exist in a court of law is in that body of data, the abduction phenomenon that's been going on for decades. And this is something that the government doesn't talk about. Believe me, this is the last thing the government wants to talk about, is the abduction phenomenon. The government wants to couch this conversation in anomalous phenomenon, right? Anomalous phenomena, lights in the sky, ambiguous things that we can't really figure out. And let's sort of try and figure this out together. That's where the government wants this conversation. They don't want to talk about the decades of an aggressive cover-up that has been perpetrated by the government and by these Department of Defense military contractors, specifically aerospace contractors, who have been recovering crash retrievals and the bodies for decades and reverse engineering the technology in secret in these deep underground military bases and doing who knows what else with the technology. And what is it that they know? What do they know about these entities? And I think, so I think there is a clear and present danger as it relates to these entities. That is real, but again, let me reiterate that also we need to be cautious because the global response is also coming, and that's also very real, and that's also very dangerous. The consolidation of power by a global entity to combat the alien threat.
Well, I've been hearing from a number of insiders, over the past week, high-level insiders who are very concerned about what's coming. That's why we're doing this story. That's why we're covering this. And I hope that people will see this story and understand that we're approaching this with an open mind. We don't know what happened in that jungle. We're telling you what those villagers have said. We're telling you the history and the context of the situation there in that village and that jungle. And we're telling you the sort of larger geopolitical context of which this is unfolding.
Now, I will say, okay, watching the video of the Peruvians, the way they're reacting to whatever the scenario is, it's realistic, folks. It's not something that looks like it was put on, that it was, an act, so on and so forth. I don't believe that it has been faked itself. They had a real fear of something. What? We don't know. I just want to say that I feel like something is not right there. Whether it is what, the Navy is stating that it is, if it's miners that are illegal miners doing this to people, so on and so forth. It could be. It very well could be. But we all know that our government, when they don't want us to know something, we know what they do. Okay. And it is what it is. So you have that on one hand, and then you have this on the other hand. And he's right. People over here kind of make jokes out of this kind of stuff and do this and that, and they'll throw out the X-Files music, this and that, so forth. But these people, whatever they went through, whatever they were going through, they were truly terrified, folks, whatever it is. Okay. I can say that just from visualizing what I saw. They were truly terrified. There was shooting. There was this, there was that. Something was not right over there for them. And I don't know what it was because I wasn't there. And of course, we can't see for sure what they're seeing. I don't know. Okay. I don't know. But at this point, I mean, again, guys, going back to what I said in the very beginning, you got to think, why are we so arrogant as to believe that we're the only living creatures in this galaxy? I mean, come on. And on this one planet. And who knows? Who knows, guys? Like I said, maybe we're at the very bottom of the technology chain again. We don't know that, okay? And I'm gonna let this finish up, and then we got much more stuff to look at, folks, and talk about. So please, please, please stick around, hang out. This is quite interesting to me, and I hope it is for you as well.
Folding right now, and if you're sort of ignoring it, I think you're just you're trying to compartmentalize the news, ignoring one of the major stories of our time. And really, I think that's a huge mistake. I think it's a huge mistake.
I do too. And I'd like to add that, this incident that happened in the village of San Antonio with the Iquitu tribe, it did not happen in isolation. There have been, and always are, other incidents ongoing in this area. I mean, there's all kinds of UFO activity. People are always seeing UFOs. I've seen UFOs out here in this very same region of the jungle. And there's a handful of other incidents that have happened surrounding this particular incident. So this did not unfold in isolation. There's been sightings of strange beings by other people who are not associated with this tribe that have been unfolding for the last couple of months. And in different parts of this area, in different parts of the jungle, around in the vicinity of the city of Iquitos. So it's not specific to this tribe. So here again, we have a problem. The miners' explanation kind of falls apart because it's not localized to this tribe in this village. There's other things that have been happening. And in other parts of the jungle in Peru, also in Pucallpa, a couple of teenagers claimed recently that they were injured by a UFO that hit them with some kind of a laser or something. And these kind of stories, as I said, are always happening. I don't know why there's so much high strangeness that happens in the Amazon jungle, but it does.
The darkness of it, the expanse of it, perhaps.
The seclusion, the remoteness.
Yeah. Fascinating stuff. And I was thrilled to have you on, Timothy. Continued great work. Many of our audience may have seen you on Ancient Aliens, of course, and continue the great work that you're doing there. I really appreciate it. Hope you'll come back. Hope you will be a frequent guest here on Redacted.
Absolutely. And it's my pleasure. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you so much for watching this segment here at Redacted. We are live every day at 4 p.m.
Very
Eastern
interesting.
Time, trying to share the stories that the mainstream media will not cover. You should also come over and join our community of Redacted.
Very, very interesting, folks. I don't know. We don't know. And how are we going to know? Okay. Just saying. Let me see something here. Give me a second here, folks. I had something else. Hang on here. And I have a trigger warning up. I guess some people have a fear of this kind of stuff, and I understand that. I don't want anybody to be scared or weirded out. I apologize if you are, but I'm rolling a trigger warning across the bottom of the screen on purpose, just for that reason. I got a couple things here that we're going to be looking over along with this. There's a lot of stuff that goes on with this. Something that was sent to me not too long ago that was made out into a joke, but hold on a minute here. I'm going to show you this just to give you guys a little insight here. 1 second. Of course, we know who Barack Obama is. There you go. Just take a quick look at this here real fast, and then we'll move forward with the rest of what we got. Let me know if you can hear it okay.
Barack Obama know about UFOs?
When it comes to aliens, there's some things I just can't tell you on air.
He was asked about the UFO frenzy in the wake of that explosive 60-minute story on Navy pilots who've seen things they just can't explain.
It's rotating. Oh my gosh. They're all going against the wind. Oh, dude.
Obama revealed to James Corden he was eager to find out about real close encounters when he became president.
Truth is that when I came into office, I asked, right? I was like, all right, is there the lab somewhere where we're keeping the alien specimens in spaceship? They did a little bit of research, and the answer was no.
But that doesn't mean we're alone in the universe.
There's footage and records of objects in the skies that we don't know exactly what they are.
And now that UFOs are being taken more seriously, more people are coming forward with their own sightings. Shaquille O'Neal told Jimmy Kimmel he's certain he's seen a UFO.
With all the lights, and it was spinning, and it just and took off, and everything happened in less than 5 seconds, and we all looked at each other, was like, and I know that it was a UFO. I don't care what anybody says.
You never told anybody about that?
Nope, you're the first person I told, because I don't want people to think I'm crazy. But
Right.
That's the problem, okay? It's taboo, folks. I've told you there's a stigma that's attached to this that tells people that you can't talk about this if you have an experience, or you think you have, or you hear somebody talk about it, that you can't, because it's taboo, because people will say, like he just said, I don't want people to think I'm crazy. Okay. It's that's not good. That's not good. What if somebody truly has an experience of something that they believe is what they believe it is? Okay. We've had these hearings recently here talking about these scenarios in Congress, folks. If the government's going to take it seriously, why can't we? I mean, honestly, sorry. And I think it's based on what your interpretation of it is, and it should be. You know what I'm saying? That's my thought on it exactly. So, again, I have videos, real video that was sent to me from one of my moderators from her property, folks, of things that she videoed with her phone. It's pretty interesting. Okay. And again, people are going to believe what they want to believe. I'm not trying to shove this down anybody's throat by any means. It's just a carefree look into the scenario. But at the same time, as I stated, I do want to believe in these things because there's too much of it being talked about and too much of it being shown to not be able to believe in certain scenarios, in my opinion. Okay. So that's all I'm saying, really. By the way, is there anybody that would like to join me up here today in regards to this scenario to talk along with me? No chains. Would you be interested in joining me? You're most welcome to. Let me see here. And if not, that's okay. You know, you don't have to. It's always nice to have two voices rather than one. Either way. Okay, hold on a minute here. Okay, like I said, I got some things we're gonna look through. I never had the volume
For a long time now. I do some work out of the Kennedy Space Center and Blue Origin, NASA, SpaceX, all that kind of stuff. And I'm out there working the other day, looking at a hangar that Elon Musk just recently acquired, and super secretive. You can't get out there. It's classified. You know, you have to have a special badge to get out there and all that kind of jazz. And they had that hangar open for about 15 seconds, and what I saw was a flying saucer. It wasn't just me, it was a few other people I was with, and they got alien tech. Elon's got some alien tech out there. It is a flying saucer. It's being back engineered to, I don't know. All I know is what I saw. Elon, sorry for putting you on blast, but you're messing up, man. You're doing everything right so far. We know you got alien tech in there. Just give it to the world, man. That's it. All right, so a lot of people probably won't believe this.
And there it is, guys. Is do you believe it or don't you believe it? You know, especially somebody like Elon Musk, I could believe that. I mean, honestly, you know, where's the money at? Seriously, that's what it's about, guys. It's about money. One second.
I believe we have crashed craft.
I'll throw this up here, folks, for you to check this out as well. I hope you guys are still in here. And if anybody's got any comments, thoughts, theories, please let me know. Sorry, guys. Let me start that over for you.
Potentially non-human spacecraft.
Based on your experience and extensive conversations with experts, do you believe our government has made contact with intelligent extraterrestrials?
Something I can't discuss in public setting.
Okay, I can't ask when you think this occurred. If you believe we have crashed craft, stated earlier, do we have the bodies of the pilots who piloted this craft?
As I've stated publicly already in my News Nation interview, biologics came with some of these recoveries. Yeah.
Were they, I guess, human or non-human biologics?
Non-human, and that was the assessment of people with direct knowledge on the program I talked to that are currently still on the program.
And was this documentary evidence, this video, photos, eyewitness? Like, how would that be determined?
The specific documentation I would have to talk to you in a skiff about.
Gotcha. Okay. So, and you may or may not be able to answer my last question, and maybe we get into a skiff at the next hearing that we have, but who in the government, either what agency, sub-agency, what contractors, who should be called into the next hearing about UAPs, either in a public setting or even in a private setting? And you probably can't name names, but what agencies or organizations, contractors, et cetera, do we need to call in to get these questions answered, whether it's about funding, what programs are happening, and what's out there?
I can give you a specific cooperative and hostile witness list of specific individuals that were in those.
And how soon can we get that list?
I'm happy to provide that to you after the hearing.
Super, thank you, and I yield back.
And that itself came from the
pushing back on in a
the hearings that were had, that conversation, okay? Just saying. It's interesting, folks. It really is, to say the least. I mean, I don't even I don't know what to say sometimes, guys. It blows my mind, some of these things. You know what I mean? Here we go. Okay, this is something I wanted you guys to see that's not really widely known. Okay, this content came from a gentleman by the name of Robert Earl White. Okay, he puts out a lot of stuff on this. He's very good at it. I've watched quite a bit of it. Somebody actually recommended it up in here too today, so, and I thank you for that, because I had already had a couple things here rolling, ready to pull up. But I want you guys to check this out and let me know your thoughts on this.
In 1991, a UFO crashed in my backyard, and it changed my family's lives forever. I want to thank everyone that supported part 1 of my documentary, and if you haven't seen it, please click the link below. Now I would like to share with you the Lower Alloways Creek incident, UFO crash, alien abduction.
The Lower Alloways Creek incident, part 2. Men in Black, uncovering new evidence.
Now I would like to share with you the events that occurred after my mother called the authorities about the crash. 25 minutes after my mother reported the crash, U.S. Air Force and Men in Black arrived at our house in Lincoln Town Cars. They came inside and they sat my mom and her 2 friends down and handed each of them a pencil and a piece of paper and told them to write 3 different kinds of aliens. My mother's 2 friends laughed and they asked them to go ahead and leave, and my mother began drawing. My mother drew 3 different kinds of aliens, a gray, a Nordic, and one she called the Blues. After this, the man from the Air Force, which was trained in hypnotism, hypnotized my mother, and what my mother revealed was groundbreaking. After this, my mother had 3 questions. She asked the Men in Black these 3 simple questions. Now keep in mind, we were country folk. My mother had no college education. She was 22 years old, barely finished high school. So keep this in mind. And my mother asked them, are these things dangerous? The Men in Black replied, if they were dangerous, do you think we would still be here? My mother said, okay. The second question my mother asked, why don't people know about these things? The Men in Black replied, we are doing everything we can by preconditioning people. Within the next 10 years, you will see evidence and signs of UFOs and aliens in every book, movie, and music, and all sorts of media. Then the third question was, and keep in mind, my mother just was hypnotized and had a flashback and remembered all of her alien abductions at this point. It was at this point in time where my mother realized that these things were taking her, and she was worried about my elderly grandfather who lived at home with us, that she took care of, and me, her 3-year-old son, who was still a baby just about. I was walking, a toddler. And she asked the men in black, when these things take me, what happens if something happens to my grandfather or my baby? And the men in black replied, they use grays to stay behind. And if anything was to happen to you, they would have you back. And he snapped his fingers like this. My mother said, okay, thank you. Then the men in black said, now tomorrow, many investigators and media outlets are going to come here asking you what happened. And you will say it was a helicopter, or we will take your son away. My mother was single at the time. I did not know my father. She was 22 years old and she was terrified. And they went all around this area knocking on people's doors, asking them what they've seen, and then reassuring them that it was a helicopter. So the following day, as you can read in the articles below, when you read about the news article that she did for the news on TV, you can see why she's so adamant about saying it was a helicopter. These men in black completely intimidated my mother. This is why people have stayed quiet about this till now. While all of this was occurring, first responders arrived to the scene 30 minutes after the initial call was made. While they were approaching, they saw deep gouges freshly made in the marsh. And as they approached a little farther ahead, they saw a U.S. Coast Guard boat sitting in the water and a few men on land, which told them the situation is under control, and they ordered them to turn back around. After releasing part 1, I had many eyewitnesses come forward with their story. I want you to keep in mind, this is a small town. And here all we have is our word and our reputation. And these are really good people here, but they are not willing to jeopardize that to be rejected and ridiculed. So some of these stories that I'm about to read to you are blocked out to protect their names. I beg these people to come forward, and they do not want to be involved. And when you see what is really going on, I hope that you will understand. Hi, Robert. Yes, I remember when this happened, and Beth told us about the visit she had from the men in black. Yesterday, I reached out to another friend that was friends with your mom and asked him, do you remember?
Real quick, I want you guys to know this is about the Lower Alloways Creek incident, guys. For those of you that don't know about that.
Beth telling him, and he did. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't my imagination. I remember when this happened, and Beth told us that the men in black came to her house and interviewed them and told them not to talk about it, and that was right after it happened.
Well, I was his mother's friend, and I recall the incident. I was 22, and I remember her telling me of her dream prior to the crash. They, the military, did pull something out of the area on a flatbed, and it was covered with a tarp. That was never in the news, but it was witnessed by some, including myself. Your mom was even on a TV show where she spoke of her experience. Later, she was put into a hypnotic state to answer questions. She would have these MUFON interviews in Grandpop's room. The things Beth would say in the interviews was astounding, as she had no real memory of the events she described. They attempted to record these interviews, but they experienced some type of interference that made it impossible. She spoke about different types of aliens, blues and grays. She mentioned them coming to her at night. Yes, I remember this. A few of my friends were first responders. I saw your LIC incident video. I remember when that happened. At the time, several of my friends were active in the firehouse. They shared when they got to the site, they could see big gouges in the marsh, but the Coast Guard was already there and told them, turn back, situation under control. At the time, we suspected a UFO, but there was nothing announced. Keep up the good work.
This is exactly what my family saw that night. If you have any comments or would like to share your story, please subscribe and leave your comments below. Stay tuned for part 3, which will be August 16th, and we will dive more into the alien abduction. Thank you so much. The Lower Alloways Creek Incident, part 2. Thanks for watching. The Lower Alloways Creek Incident, part 3. Alien abduction. Hi, this is Robert Earl White, and this is the Lower Alloways Creek Incident, Part 3, Alien Abduction. In 1991, after a UFO crashed behind my house and my mother was hypnotized, it brought to light a phenomenon that had been happening to her since she was a child. A few nights prior to the crash, my mother reported having strange dreams and waking up excited, nervous, and anxious. She also reported she remembers walking out to a half-wooded area where she encountered 3 to 4 giant hamster cages with red and orange twist ties going around the bars. She said that she saw mongooses walking erect and also walking within unison. She also said that she saw 2 large snakes and she felt like she was protecting the snakes from the mongooses. I was an only child, and my mother and I were extremely close. And throughout the years, and once I got older, she confided in me things that she wouldn't share with anyone else because I always believed in her. Now, in my mother's dreams, she says she saw giant hamster cages with bright red and orange twist ties, which twist ties are very flat. And red and orange in the DNA chart represents the T strand and the C strand, which together formulates part of our DNA structure. Also, red and orange is represented by the Leyden and gonads, which are reproductive glands, which is valuable to the hybrid program. The hypnosis uncovered memories that had been suppressed for years. My mother recalled in the middle of the night being dragged out of her room through the walls and witnessing very bright lights all around her and coming to on a bed surrounded by multiple extraterrestrial species. With each species, she had a different experience with. For example, some that she called the blues. They were very friendly with a bluish light tinge coming off of them. They helped her, they spoke to her telepathically, and always explained to her the procedures they were doing with her. Along with this species and many others, there were little grays from Zeta, and they are the helpers, and they help with the other extraterrestrials to make sure things get done and that things are watched over. Along with these species, my mother also encountered what we call the Nordics, the ones that look just like us, who were very loving and kind and spoke to her in multiple different languages and through telepathy. Then, unfortunately, my mother had encounters with a species called the tall whites. Their name may be misleading. They are actually grays, but they have a lighter complexion, and they are tall, and they're very old, and they can be nasty. They are not as loving, and they feel like they don't need to explain themselves. And many of the operations and experiments they would perform on my mother could be life-changing, and actually the effects stuck with her for the rest of her life. One of the most traumatizing experiences my mom had was with the gray whites and being a part of their hybrid program. Her eggs would be extracted aggressively by using a needle, then manipulated, and then put back inside of her for an incubation period. Then at a later time, they would abduct my mother again and extract the embryo so it would continue to grow in their facility. My mom remembers seeing her hybrid children standing off on the walls in the room, and she was communicating with them telepathically. Some of them looked just like you and I. Others looked very deformed, and some were the perfect mix of gray alien and human put together. My mom would always ask the ETs, can I please have one, and can one live with me? And they replied, it will not survive on Earth. The repercussions of my mother being a part of the breeding program meant irregular menstrual cycles to the point of constantly bleeding. My mother even had her tubes tied, and still she miscarried 5 times and continued bleeding constantly. My mother started drinking alcohol because she claimed that when she had alcohol in her bloodstream, it caused these beings not to be able to do their experiments with her. So unfortunately, this led to a lifetime of drinking. And with not having anyone to talk to, this ultimately led to her death, March 9th, 2020. There are thousands of people in this country that are going through this phenomenon. And I want to encourage you, if you have an experience, please contact us at the Order of Light, where we can try to help you and put you in contact with someone else that has shared your experience. Because of what my mother went through, my goal is to make sure no one on this planet has to ever go through what we went through. I believe everyone has an important story and should be able to share it, especially if it's a traumatizing event. In some cases, these are compared to rapes, yet people can't talk about it for fear of ridicule and rejection and laughter and being called crazy. This is happening, and we are not asking for disclosure. We are demanding it. We are not going to wait for it to happen. We are making it happen. Disclosure is now. So please contact us. Thank you so much.
Sorry, folks, I bumped something. It wasn't quite the end. My apologies. I'm guessing this is his mother here, Beth Ann White. It's definitely interesting, guys. I mean, you take from it what you will. Of course, you know, we all interpret things different ways, but very interesting to say the least, folks. And I guess it could be looked at as sad in some ways, because we don't know how to react to something like this. We have no idea how to react to something like this. None of us do, because we don't. And one thing that needs to be said, folks, we as people are afraid of what we don't understand and what we don't know. That's a fact. That's part of what we are. Are you guys all still here? Nobody said a word or moved or anything. You know, it's just. Sorry, everyone. So again, like I said, we're afraid of what we don't know, what we don't understand, so on and so forth. And like I said, that scenario that we just watched could be taken, interpreted however you'll interpret it. You know what I'm saying? It's different for sure. Most definitely different for sure. Hold on a second. Okay, I haven't seen you, Molly. If you're in here, I don't know what's going on with my chat right now. It seems to have frozen or something. What the hell is going on? Where are we at here? See, I'm not seeing any of this. The last thing I saw was stated. What's going on with this? Why is my StreamYard not showing anything? What is going on? Good Lord. Okay, the YouTube stream is flowing, but the StreamYard's not moving. What happened? Can you guys all still see and hear me? Okay, now I can see you over here in YouTube, Molly. I can't see you in StreamYard. What the hell? That's weird. Well, that was the next thing I was doing, guys, was I was trying to pull up. I wondered why nobody was saying anything. That's crazy. Do I need to refresh it? Hold on. Okay, if I lose this, if you guys can hear me, if I lose this, I will bring it back up. I promise. Changes you made may not be saved. Maybe not. Hold on a minute. Let me try something. Now I see you guys. There we go. Oh, and there is the gentleman right there that I just showed you guys the story of, Mr. Robert Earl White. Welcome. Good to have you here, sir. I would have warned you to not share this story. They block everything. Okay. Well, I'm sorry, sir. My apologies. I was just trying to put the word out there. All right. There we go. We're back. Thank you for joining us today, Mr. White. I do appreciate you being in here. It's the topic. I guess so. Something's up. That was weird. 1 second here. I appreciate your videos, sir, that you've made. Very much so. All right, guys. I don't know what's going on here, but hopefully you guys can still see and hear me. I wish I could bring I'm Molly up in here, but she doesn't do this. So let me try something here. I'm trying to bring some stuff up that Molly had sent me. But now I see you, Molly dear, and I'm glad you're here. I was hoping he was going to be here soon. And again, Mr. White, I appreciate your videos, your time, and I appreciate you jumping in here and watching this with us. I'm very interested in this scenario, in the situations here. I'm sorry for your mother's story, sir. It's very sad, and my apologies that you've had to go through that. All right. Okay, I'm pulling up these emails here, folks. I want you guys to see this. As I said again, I'm not sure there, Jeffrey. Give me a second, guys. I'm trying to pull Molly up here real fast. Grab the stuff that she has sent me. Did you resend it to me, Molly? No, that's not it. Okay, hold on here. Are you guys still not moving? Okay. Yeah, I'm still not seeing it. This is weird. I've never seen StreamYard do this like this before, guys. All right. 1 second, folks. I'm getting this pulled up here. I hope you guys are seeing me. I hope you're seeing what's going on. Yeah, if you could jump up here, Mama Bear, I would appreciate it a little bit. It would definitely help me. StreamYards is doing some crazy stuff right now. And I'm not seeing what I'm supposed to be seeing. One second here, Molly just resent this to me. I want you guys to see this. Interesting stuff. Okay. Yeah, anytime you're available, Mama Bear, if you can, please, if you will. It'll be much appreciated. It'll help me, at least with what's going on. All right, this is all coming from Molly Drake's channel. Again, my moderator. She does great stuff, folks. Check it out if you will. I can't see what's going on in StreamYard right now because it's not moving again. And I don't know why, but there she is. There she was.
Hi.
Hello. This is so weird. Like super weird. Okay. When I look at the YouTube stream, it's moving like it's supposed to. It's doing its thing.
Right.
And we just watched that whole video from Mr. Earl Robert White that's in here in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
And it's almost instantaneously that StreamYard just kind of like disappeared. It froze. I don't know what the hell's going on, but YouTube's still moving. Okay, I'm looking at it. Molly's been in here for a while, and
Yeah, she sent me a thing. She's like, he's ignoring me. I'm like, no, he's not.
No, I'm really not. I didn't know.
You were talking to her the whole time. I was like, what is going on?
Yeah, I was asking for her where she was, this and that. I'm not ignoring her. I don't see her. Like I'm literally looking at the last thing I can see. There she is, and I need to fix that while she's in here. Hold on a minute. Let me move that.
Yeah, it's really weird.
Hold on a minute here. Stop moving. Chat is moving over here. This is not working for me. It doesn't help this monitor situation, but I will. Luckily, I don't know if you heard that. That's going to be fixed here soon.
I did hear that. That's awesome. Thank you, William.
Beyond awesome. Beyond awesome. So,
yeah.
Okay. Dolphin, I did something. If you could check it out, you might notice it. But welcome to the team, Dolphin, as our new moderator. And I hope you're okay with that. And I'm sure you'll do a great job, as you always do. Now, again, StreamYard has still not moved. I see something that says Gavin, from Gavin. Hello, Heather. Hope you're well. And then Dolphin says, what happened? Over in StreamYard, it says it's the topic. It's the last comment that I saw from Molly. So,
yeah, the last thing that shows on my screen is from Canadian True Crime Buff that says at William Tardy. Hello there. I don't even know where.
And if you refresh, I don't think we can refresh StreamYards because it'll bounce it, won't it?
You can try and go out and come back in because I'll still be here. I should be anyway.
Okay.
I don't know if that'll do anything, but we can try it.
All right. I'm going to drop this. Let me do this one more time, and then I'm going to.
Hi, everybody. Yeah, we're going to blame it on the aliens. Something's weird. Definitely.
Weird. Okay, Blue Flame integration. All right. I just dropped the link in chat, Mr. White. If you can click on that link, that should bring you backstage, and we can bring you up here to speak with us. And then again, I'll be pulling these videos from Molly's private collection to show you guys here. I hope you can see that. It says StreamYard link, sir. If you'd like to click on that, that'll bring you backstage, and we can bring you up here to speak with us.
Yeah, it showed up in the YouTube chat, so.
I see it there, but again, now I see StreamYard is Blue Flame integration is the last comment I see. And it won't move. Why is this doing this today? It's very weird.
Yeah, the last comment I see was your link.
All right, now that's definitely not him. That's no change.
Hey, you. Yeah, he'd like to come up, but I don't know what's going on.
Well, I just clicked the link, or you just clicked the link, right?
Yeah, hopefully Robert will come up, hopefully.
Right, there's the link for you, sir. Robert, if you can see it, it says https streamyard.com. Just click on that, that will bring you backstage. If you're familiar with this type thing, hopefully you are. It'll bring you backstage and we can bring you up here, so on and so forth, sir. But again, I appreciate you making the videos that you made so that we can talk about the things we talk about. That's a very good reference point. And again, my apologies. Your story with your mother is very sad, and my condolences in her case.
Yeah, my chat still hasn't moved at all on.
I definitely will, William. I appreciate that again, my friend. Yeah, this is weird. Oh, there he is.
I think we clicked him at the same time.
Let's see here. Try it again. There it is.
Hey,
okay.
how's it going?
Hi.
Sorry. Can you hear us okay?
Yeah, I hear you good. Sorry, my friend Lisa Blue Flame hit me up like halfway when you were in part 3. I've been working on whistleblowers from Washington, D.C., Stephen Greer, all of that, people presenting in the Senate skiffs. All of that is last second. What you're dealing with is very normal. I see a lot of people saying, oh, this ain't censorship or whatever. No, it is. I'm on the Pentagon's radar. They've been brought up. My name has been brought up in Senate skiffs, etc., Arrow, all the committees that are going on. They know exactly who I am. I just came back from Alaska working with 3 of the major whistleblowers, Michael Herrera, Eric Hecker from Antarctica, and DC Long from Fort Bragg, all the big whistleblowers. I've been sharing this story for about 30 years, and I just found evidence about 3 years ago, and I came forward with my story presenting the evidence that you saw in the first part. And then in the second part, you saw additional witnesses. Until this day, I'm still finding new information and all of that. But thank you so much for sharing. I wish I could have been here earlier to set up my studio, but I had to hop in here. I really appreciate everyone watching and you sharing this. Really appreciate it.
We appreciate you joining us today, and I appreciate your videos. And again, my condolences towards your mother.
Thank you.
My friend, I'm so sorry for the story is so very sad. And God bless you for dealing with the situation and handling the things the way that you do and that you are, and continuously telling this story. It's as I state to everybody, as I stated earlier, we're all as people afraid of things that we're not familiar with, that we don't know, that we don't understand. It's just the way that we're bred. You know what I mean? And this is one of those situations. It very much is. And when there's people like you that are out here doing what you're doing to inform the public, David Grusch and his situation.
He's a plant, and he isn't saying everything. Now, to David Grusch, he knows a lot more than what he's telling all of you in the public. He pleaded the 5th in front of Congress. He knows way more than what he's telling you, and he's refusing to tell the public. I'm one of the people that is telling the public what's really going on. It's not aliens or extraterrestrials. The only thing we need to worry about are these black projects, men in black, and these people that are going around working in subcontracting, you could say subcontracting situations that are threatening experiencers and people that really encounter these things. And all of those people, the 3 men that you saw sitting there, they pled the 5th multiple times, where they would not say to the public what is going on. And there are multiple individuals that are telling them that reverse engineered technology is being used for human trafficking, drug trafficking,
You're correct.
and gun trafficking. And they are playing dumb, and they have been going around threatening tax-paying citizens to cover up things that they're reverse engineering to use for the military complex, which Eisenhower warned us. I'm great friends with Laura Eisenhower, the great-granddaughter of President Eisenhower, and she will tell you the same thing. They are covering it up, and unfortunately, real whistleblowers and real people with real information, we don't get to have a say, because it's all planned. Everything is back. Everything you see on History Channel, Travel Channel, every other media outlet there is a backed narrative by these corrupt black projects that are corrupting us all. And I really appreciate you trying to get to the bottom of it and have an open mind and listen to all of these situations.
Absolutely. I mean, that's, what it's all about. This is what my channel is based off of. I mean, this is the first time we've stepped into this realm is today, but we always, the channel here is based on having an open mind, open opinion, theory, and feelings towards something, everybody being able to express that. So that's what it's all about, in my opinion. So what you're saying in essence, Robert, is that everything we see on A&E and all the shows and all that stuff is a narrative built for what they want us to see. Basically.
Absolutely. 100%. Project Mockingbird. Look it up.
And
everyone.
Bluebeam, right?
And
Bluebeam, right?
Bluebeam is the futuristic version. A false alien invasion to bring humanity at the will to submit their freedoms and their sense of security to military and to the government. Oh, help us, protect us from a false sense of national security. Absolutely. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I mean, that is, wow. I mean, what do you say to that? I mean, it's, we
know
see
thyself. Know thyself. That's all I can say.
Right. It does, man. It's the best way to put it. So, how are you, if I can ask, I mean, do you personally have you personally had any specific experiences in yourself or around you yourself?
Absolutely. I've recorded over 120 UFO videos, 4K, 30 frames per minute, multiple UFO videos. If you check out my YouTube channel, Robert Earl White, I have recorded so much information. None of the videos get any views. I record these things flying right around. I've had multiple things. I've recorded many interviews with other whistleblowers. Back in the end of June, I was in Washington, D.C. for the Stephen Greer event. I got to talk to them and hang out with all the whistleblowers there, many military personnel, etc. That entire event was completely blackballed because everyone was too worried about a meteorite that went over Las Vegas and some whack job. So there's an alien in my backyard.
Right.
The same exact week, real military and Senate skiffs. My friends have been in Senate skiffs. They have presented their information to Congress and Senate. And when they go up there and they act plain and dumb, not the whistleblowers, but Senate and the intelligence community and AARO and the Pentagon. When my friends that were whistleblowers went to AARO, to the Pentagon, in an off-site location that I cannot tell you, you would never guess that it is a secure area. They were being questioned about me in a video I released 3 years ago, which is the video you just posted, all 3 videos.
Okay.
They have been watching me closely, although they refuse to talk to me for some reason. It's no surprise to you or to all the people that are watching this because they rather have shills and con artists representing the narrative they want. And I'm a loose cannon, as Blue Flame said in the comments. She was like, Blue Flame interrogation. She has been to the UFO crash site. She actually came all the way here to New Jersey. I took her out to the crash site. The bridge is still closed. The road was closed, and they moved the barrier back. It's been closed since 1991, April 21st. After this craft went down, it's been closed. The Dover Air Force Base, Gloucester County Coast Guard, and firefighters and many others were involved with this case. And it's been just completely scrubbed. It took me 30 years to finally find evidence, documentation, military transcripts, Philadelphia KYW3 channel news transcripts, etc. If you go to the videos in the description, you can actually read the MUFON, the Mutual UFO Network, that whole thing, all the actual things. But the thing is, MUFON is backed and they play the narrative. Everything MUFON talks about, they get their information from these gentlemen wearing black suits, guided by the Air Force, Navy, whoever it may be. These are subcontractor kind of individuals that are meant to provide a certain narrative. With my family's story, it was a mysterious helicopter crash. Even though I have all the evidence saying no helicopter should have been flying there because it was within 2 miles of the Salem nuclear plant.
Right.
The creek behind her house, back in 1976, there was a no-fly zone that was put on saying that no aircraft within 10 nautical miles. 10 nautical miles is 11.1 normal miles.
Okay.
Nothing should be flying around a nuclear plant, let alone exploding. No helicopter was reported missing, none of that, and nor should have even been flying around in the area to begin with. So this is how they work. And the men in black that talked to my mother, as I mentioned in my documentary, they told my mother that tomorrow, right after the crash, that media outlets, news agencies, newspapers, it's 1991, they send magazines and things like that.
Yeah.
YouTube wasn't around back then,
No.
like what we're doing now.
Right.
But they told us that they would all be coming out, and my mother needs to say that it was a helicopter, or they would take me away. I was 3.5 years old at the time. It was one of the first memories that I honestly have. It was very traumatizing, and they threatened my 22-year-old single mother that they would take me away if she didn't play the narrative of it being a helicopter, which it wasn't. It was a very long, skinny, thin, black triangular craft with 3 blue lights on the tips of it and a crazy white light. And this thing, I know a lot of people watching this right now, they would say, if this is really an extraterrestrial craft, why would it crash? If they have this advanced technology, why would they even go down? It didn't go down on its own free will. We have directed energy weapons confirmed by other whistleblowers who have worked in Antarctica, you know, at the Raytheon facilities, the, Ice Cube neutrino detector program. My great friend Eric Hecker, I just came back from Alaska, just came back like 4 days ago.
Okay.
I was up there with him. He lives in Alaska now. He worked in Antarctica for over a year. And he had access to many special projects that were going on. And there are directed energy weapons. And these weapons have been used to take down actual extraterrestrial craft to reverse engineer to make our own crafts that we do clandestine operations such as human trafficking, drug operations, smuggling, and guns and weapons smuggling. Because if anyone sees these crafts, they claim, oh, I saw a UFO. And then they say, oh, and one thing I could probably tell everyone, anytime the government says that it's a weather balloon or anything like that.
It's not.
It's extraterrestrial. Anytime the government says that it's ours or something like that, then it's the reverse of that. Whatever it is, they say the opposite every single time.
So that scenario that happened a few months back with the weather balloons coming from China and Canada and all that stuff.
Good question.
Yeah.
What do you think that was?
The main balloon that everyone across America from Washington to South Carolina, yeah, that was a weather balloon. We recorded it. The mysterious objects that were getting blown down over Canada that we never heard anything else about, but they were claiming to be additional weather balloons. All of you have to decide that. I wasn't there. I didn't see it for myself. I only speak to what I have seen.
Sure.
And I saw this craft behind my house. And anytime, basically when it's an actual extraterrestrial, they will tell you anything but. It was private testing. It was this. It was a weather balloon. When it's actually us, we blame it on aliens.
Yeah.
When it's our technology, we blame it on extraterrestrials. When it's extraterrestrials, we say it's ours. This has been going on since the 1940s.
Right.
Gotcha.
Even
So
before.
Why do you think, Robert, like do you feel like that you're stating that there's like a nuclear power plant in that area there?
Within 2 miles, right down the street. Yep.
Okay, so do you feel that may be why this area
absolutely
was Okay, you.
I know your question. I had a security guard that worked for Yo Security in 1977 when they were building this nuclear facility. I've interviewed him. His channel is in the same playlist that you were playing all the UFO crash documentaries.
Okay.
If you go in that playlist, after the third video or fourth video, you will see the nuclear facility and the whistleblower that worked on the security for Yo Security. Back in 1977, him and his security firm, they were on guard. Around late at night, there was an object that hovered over the nuclear facility, setting off all the radiation alarms.
Right.
Also, within this story, I brought up Malmstrom Air Force Base in Montana and the UFO disarming two separate NORAD nuclear missile launch sites, disarming every single nuclear missile we had within 25 minutes at two sites 25 miles away from each other.
Right.
In session, one after another.
Yeah.
And long story short, they were all on guard. Some people were inside the facility. A lot of the guards were outside. This white light, this object hovered above the nuclear facility, Hope Creek in Salem County, New Jersey. Hope Creek Nuclear Facility, which is currently owned by PSNG, big gas company and all that. And as it was hovering there, all the radiation alarms went off for about 25 to 30 minutes. It was all pandemonium, all chaos. All the people working at the plant thought they were about to have a meltdown.
Yeah.
After this craft left the nuclear facility and the site, all the alarms turned off. And everyone said, well, that was strange. They all went home. The next morning, Yo Security, a team of 10 to 12 guys, came back the following morning. They picked up their badges. They picked up their pistols. They were armed guards. They went to their duty, their positions. About 10 minutes, 15 minutes into their morning shift the night after this incident, they were all called to come to the front gate. The entire security team came to the front gate, and there was two gentlemen dressed like yuppies, like, long sleeve polo collar pops, not Men in Black or anything like that, but you could tell they were big energy sector, nuclear sector CEOs.
Businessmen.
So why are they going to the nuclear plants?
Well, great. Let me tell you what the head of the nuclear plants told the security guards, because they called them all up forward and they said, handing your guns and your badges and return to Yo Security in Cherry Hill, about 45 minutes north of our security plant. And the security guys are like, yo, what happened last night? You're not going to fire me without telling me what happened last night. I have this all documented. And the official explanation, and get ready, everyone that's watching this, get ready to laugh. The official explanation was a radioactive toxic gas cloud from China hovered all the way over here to New Jersey on the East Coast, hovered for 30 minutes above our nuclear plant and set off all the radioactive alarms.
Wow.
It was a toxic radioactive gas cloud that came all the way over here from China and hovered over our plant. And the security guards laughed just like you just did. They laughed. They said, this is bullshit. It doesn't make sense.
No.
And why didn't it set off nuclear sites in California?
Exactly.
The Midwest, all the way across. Only our site, all the way over here. No matter which way it would have traveled, it had to go through other nuclear sites. And Paul Evan Peterson, he shared this story. He worked for the team. And about a year after, I had people from the security team that was hired after his security team, which they unarmed them. They took away their sidearms. And I had those people confirming this story and telling me that if anyone was to talk about this, they would lose their jobs. So it was a big thing on the base. Don't talk about it, move forward, and just hush, hush. And that's what it is. And all the reports, and I know a lot of people think this is crazy. I've had probably about 10 people that work at this nuclear plant report seeing cats walking around with glowing green eyes and
Oh.
a lot of other strange things. There's a local hangout near the beach near the nuclear plant where a lot of the employees would go out, and at night they would be partying, drinking, and they would gauge how drunk someone was according to how many UFOs they saw flying off the beach. It's
Right.
a dismissive thing to talk about these things. You're drunk, you're not of sound mind, you're irrelevant. It's the whole narrative. It's been going on since 1977. Some things, I only share 3 pages of documents and information I had in the documentary that all of you watched. There's still 3 more pages I haven't shared to the public because I'm waiting for serious researchers and things like that. Those are the military transcripts, the police reports, each base called, etc. Dover Air Force Base was involved. The local Coast Guard, they patrolled the nuclear plant. Lower Alloways Creek, hence the name of the incident, Lower Alloways Creek incident. That creek is directly connected to the Salem nuclear plant. It's their runoff water. It goes directly behind my house.
Wow. Okay.
It's all connected. I've had many other people that have worked for MUFON, which have also reported triangular craft. George A. Filer, the East Coast director of the Mutual UFO Network, MUFON. Also, George A. Filer, retired Air Force intelligence. He runs the National UFO Center. Wonderful man, great friends with him. He shared my story, and he also brought up back in the 90s, there was a pastor in the same area that saw a triangular craft interacting with the power lines coming from the nuclear plant. He wouldn't release the pastor's name, but the pastor called and wanted to remain anonymous. He saw a triangular craft interacting in some sort of electrical current between the craft and the power lines coming from the nuclear plant. And the thing with nuclear energy, the nuclear fusion produces gamma rays. Also, lightning produces gamma rays. Volcanoes produces gamma rays.
Correct.
A lot of these crafts operate off of gamma rays, whether it's nuclear, lightning, or volcanoes. Why UFOs are, associated with these forms of phenomena, nuclear, lightning, and volcanic activity, is because it produces gamma rays. And
So I have a question.
Yeah.
I have a question. So I've seen spaceships or crafts taking plasma off the sun.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Gamma rays.
What are you talking about, Chains?
Yeah, I've seen them on videos that they've showed spaceships taking plasma off the sun.
Crafts coming to the sun. We got cameras on the sun. You will see crafts come up to it, and you will see this plasma or ectoplasm. Like,
you'll see it being sucked right off. You'll see it being sucked right off
into
of
the
it.
crafts. It's because our sun produces the same gamma rays I was telling you about. And I know the video you're talking about, Ray, and you're absolutely right. And it happens. And the sun, volcanoes, lightning, and nuclear isn't the only things that cause gamma rays. Anything that causes gammas, you will have a higher percentage of unidentified flying crafts operating because these beings are not using AC/DC. It's irrelevant. You really think they got 3 prongs that plug into a wall to charge their crafts? They're using natural fuel, things that can be found on almost any planet,
Natural
any solar,
resources.
which isn't Edison's form of technology. It's Tesla's form of technology.
Yes, and that was talked about years and years and years ago. It was talked about, and Tesla. If you read into any, which I did, I was very interested in a lot of what Tesla wrote about. If you read into any of Tesla's writings, it's beyond your wildest
comprehension.
It's beyond comprehension. The thing
He was right.
that he knew was coming and it was there and that could be there, and it just blows. Which again, now that's why he left us the way he did, I believe.
Poor, broke in an apartment in New York.
Yes.
Because he was right. And anytime
Yes.
you're right, just like me, I'm poor. I've been censored on my YouTube. I have like 13,800 subscribers. My videos, since I've interviewed Eric Hecker before he became a public whistleblower and went on to be viral to get millions of views, ever since that video, no video on my YouTube page has went over 1,000. And I had a few friends on these whistleblowers I'm working with. They were on the Sean Ryan's podcast. And Sean Ryan was telling them of some of the censorship. And to anyone out there, including you and your channel, I was told that those that are censored, take your views, times them by 65. That's how many people are actually seeing you. They want people like you, Dago, and everyone else, and all the creators that are presenting actual truth. They want us to think we're not reaching anyone. So we get discouraged. We stop talking about these situations
and move on.
But
we're not going to stop. No, we're not.
Every video you have, I want you to times it by 65. That's how many views you're actually getting. This is catastrophic to them. Every video, even if I have videos where I'm getting 300 views with 13,000 plus subscribers.
Right. That doesn't make sense.
I times it by 65. I'm like, it's all good. You're not going to
you
stop
go.
me.
Right.
So everyone out there, including you guys, I know this is the first time I'm meeting you. I wish it wasn't this way. I would have been here for the whole thing. I had no idea.
That's okay.
I'm happy that Blue Flame filled me in.
Yes,
I'm happy you're up here because I have another one to say. I have another one to mention. There are bases off of the ocean, right? Like off the coast.
Yeah,
for instance,
absolutely.
like Malibu,
Yes.
because I've seen one myself.
I've heard. I believe me, in my off time, I read a lot about this. I look into a lot of research on this because it's something I've always had an interest in. And it's wonderful to meet you today. Absolutely, Robert, for the first time. And hopefully we can continue this down the road as we continue doing these things. I did have some questions that people had in here. If I can ask you, first off, what is your thought on what's the Peruvian thing going on right now over in Peru? Have you seen or heard any of that? No. Okay. There's it's been on the news quite a bit. They're talking about Peruvians that are dealing with what they're calling 7-foot tall extraterrestrials attacking them. And it's in the Peruvian jungles and so on and so forth. And the Navy responded to the situation. They went in, they investigated the situation, came out and said that it's illegal miners that is doing this thing. It's over here. And they're dressing up as aliens per se, they're saying, and they're attacking people. That's what the Navy's saying. So
makes sense.
I understand how that happens like that, of course, but I didn't know if you had seen that or not.
I don't know about that, but I do know that we have robotic androids that look like aliens that are carrying out alien abduction to those that are going against the military complex, and they use the front of extraterrestrials being negative. After everything you heard of my mother's story and her being in the hybrid program, one thing my mother always told me, never be afraid. You have nothing to be afraid of. Even with these beings extracting her eggs, embryos, and creating hybrid offspring, my mother was never afraid. And she told me when I was a child, baby, never be afraid. These beings, regardless of what anyone says, and even the questions, my mom asked the men in black, are these things dangerous? If they were dangerous, would we still be here after all the dumb things humanity has done against humanity?
Yes, exactly.
And it wouldn't surprise me. After when I was in DC, I was privy to certain information of these drones that look like extraterrestrials, these robotic synthetic beings that are going around abducting certain officials and people that choose to come forward, not just claiming that extraterrestrials aren't real. They are absolutely real. But anytime they are down here making a mux of things and terrifying people, from what I've learned, it's the military complex doing it for natural resources. As you said, miners, which I'm honestly surprised that the Navy would even say that much, because they are just as culpable and guilty of covering this up along with every other military complex fraction.
Okay. Mama Bear, did you happen to gather those questions by chance?
I think I have a couple.
Okay,
One was
go for
something about uranium mine in Durango, Colorado. What your take was on it?
Oh, I have no idea.
Okay.
When I don't know something, I call it out.
Well,
I don't know.
I think it refers to, do they seek out uranium?
I mean, uranium does have certain properties.
Properties, yeah.
Right?
Mhm.
And what is
Absolutely.
uranium is used for nuclear. And it wouldn't
Right.
surprise me in that if uranium gives off any sort of gamma ray whatsoever, absolutely they're picking up on it. And certain areas, now I see where you were going with that question, although I don't know about that situation, goes back to what I said about gamma rays. If it's picking up on gamma rays, I believe some of these beings and their crafts, their technology, their radar systems aren't necessarily meant to like pick up on heat and things like that. It's meant to pick up on gamma rays, on neutrons, on
Protons,
protons,
yep.
muons,
Yep, that's right.
muons, and neutrinos are more important than protons or atoms. Muons and neutrinos, neutrinos, and muons. Very valuable.
That's interesting. Very
Anything else there,
interesting.
Mama Bear?
And then somebody wanted to know your take on CERN, CERN.
Yeah.
Well,
CERN, which I believe that's in Geneva, the particle accelerator.
Yes.
Yeah, they're just now catching up to the black projects of what they've been working on. My friend Eric Hecker, he lived and worked in Antarctica working on the ice cube neutrino detector program, where these neutrinos, when they can travel through a planet, they travel through us. These are these super particles, if you will.
Yep. Right.
And deep within the ice of Antarctica, they have all these basketballs about a 2-mile radius, these strings with these DOMs.
What else is in Antarctica?
Optical
What else is down in
module.
Antarctica?
All I can speak from my friends, I have 2 people that have lived and worked in there. Everything that people think is in Antarctica isn't really down there. But what is down there is absolutely mind-blowing. It's just not Hollywood mind-blowing.
No.
It's scientifically mind-blowing. And these DOM devices, these basketballs with electrical modulations that are placed within ice, when these neutrinos go through the ice, when they collide with the deep layers of ice, they create a blue light, and that is harnessed, and it's helping us. It's literally the largest telescope on planet Earth, not to mention at the south pole of this planet, where electromagnetic fields are at their thinnest and at their highest, because of where electricity goes to the poles. It circulates.
This is amazing.
We have digital
I'm so glad
comms.
he came.
We have digital comms, and they are harnessing these neutrinos, and they are using them as energy to make off-world comms, which within a matter of a second, they can send a signal from here to Orion star constellation.
Sure.
Like this. Now, why would we be sending signals out there? Wouldn't that suggest that we have
exactly. There's
ships,
communication. There's
communications out there. Why do we need to communicate that far?
That's right. That's right.
That's not for me to say. That's for all of you to figure out.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Like I said, guys, this is all due to and based on your own interpretation of what we talk about today.
I don't know nothing.
Do this, right? You have to
know
be
a
able
lot.
to interpret this yourself. So if I could ask you, like, do you think there's anything with all the wildfires that have been going on most recently, and all these recent sightings and all these experiences per se, do you feel that the fires may have anything to do with what's been going on recently?
It's global warming. Everyone give up your freedoms and your comfortable life. No, I can't
Right.
speak on fires, but let me speak on earthquakes. My
Yes.
friend who was the whistleblower, Eric Hecker, when
Yes.
they fired up the ice cube neutrino detector, they had 2 misfires. During that misfires, it caused the earthquakes in Christchurch, New Zealand.
Okay.
I found, along with Eric, we found documents, emails from Hillary Clinton and Jake Sullivan saying on cue, talking about the earthquakes in New Zealand. Even my buddy that was down there in Antarctica, if he would have ever known what he was working on, he had no idea. It's all nuts and bolts, you know. But them firing up these technologies, and although this was Raytheon in Antarctica, subcontractor, and now Lockheed and other groups own the same place, and Raytheon has changed their name once Eric came forward. They don't want to be Raytheon anymore because the dirt's getting out on them. A lot of the earthquakes and things, such as the earthquake in Indonesia, Christchurch, etc., has been collateral damage of experimenting and testing certain directed energy. I don't want to call them weapons because that wasn't the intended use, but when they were testing these technologies, they became weapons. You know, I gotta be correct. And
Absolutely.
HARPA, you know, DARPA, all these guys,
Yes, yes.
DARPA.
Yep.
Sometimes when we are experimenting with new technologies, you know, think of it as a tool or, you know, a weapon or a gun, right? Just because you pull the trigger, you don't know exactly where the bullet is going to land the first time you pull the trigger. And sometimes things happen by accident, honest accidents. As far as fires and floods, they have been going on ever since the existence of humanity. The only difference now, there's a political movement of climate change, of making us think that it's all our fault.
Right,
It's
right.
really not.
Real quick, I'd like to welcome Trinity.
Hi.
How are you today?
Welcome.
Oh, thank you for having me on here. And I am absolutely loving this conversation. I've actually been on, listening to your podcast, your channel for quite a while. I just don't get into chat that much or even go up on channels.
Thank you.
Yeah, so thank you for having me up.
Absolutely. It's wonderful to have you here. I appreciate you wanting to jump up here and speak on whatever you want to. Welcome.
Well, thank you so much. I'm finding your guests extremely interesting talking about neutrinos because they were talking, you know, bringing up CERN and Fermilabs and the ice cube observatories. A lot of people are not aware that there is one that runs from Chicago to South Dakota, an abandoned gold mine. There's several of these.
Interesting. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They're deep underground neutrino experiments is what they're calling it. And it's a huge black ops. Billions and billions of dollars going into it.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
She's right.
Yeah,
Absolutely right.
The whole thing with Taiwan right now, I'm saying all the words I shouldn't say because I don't get you in trouble on this channel.
It's okay.
But it's a chip war because they have a humongous detector there called the Super K.
Yes.
And that's what that's all about. It's not what people think it's about. And yeah, it's so crazy.
Yeah, I had heard about that, and of course, we don't know the real truth behind a lot of things. And I'd always wondered what that actually was for, but I mean, there it is. Thank you so very much. It's wonderful to hear these things, both of you guys. This is amazing, and a lot of people are enjoying this. I can tell, very much so. I can't even tell. There's so many. Do you have any more questions, Mama Bear, for anybody here?
One of the questions was, what can someone do to attract them?
To attract them. So like somebody wants to purposely attract them?
Yes.
Well, great question. On my channel, I have a playlist called UFOs I've recorded or whatever. I forget the name of the playlist. Like I said, I've recorded over 120 of these things. Just last night, I recorded 2. A few nights ago, I recorded 3, whatever. Honestly, a lot of times I'll be taking my dog out to go use the bathroom at night. But I'm accustomed to bringing my laser pointer and my camera before I go outside with my dog.
Right.
A lot of the UFOs I capture, I got dog on a leash. And a lot of people, I know a lot of you have heard the CE5 protocol. And I've talked to Stephen Greer. I've hung out with him personally. And I've told him, I went outside with my dog just to let him use the bathroom. And my girlfriend and I, we see these things constantly. You don't need to meditate. You don't need to do anything. All you need to do is freaking look up. That's all you need to do for more than 20 minutes.
Folks, that's it. Just look up. There
You don't
it is.
need an app. I told Stephen Greer this. You don't need an app. You don't need anything. You just need to look up in the sky in one specific place for longer than 20 minutes. Now, my neck kills me. I'm a very tall guy, 6'8", LeBron James size.
Wow.
Looking up all the I'm a Nephilim, a red-bearded Nephilim. Oh,
There you go.
Hybrid programs. I told you in my story. What do you expect? But all you need to do is go outside and look. I don't care if you live in a city, there's bad light pollution, or if you live in, for example, I just came back from Alaska. They don't have nighttime for 6 months.
Right.
It was a constant stream of daytime, which blew my mind. I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah.
All you need to do is look up. I've captured these things during the day, at dusk, even before it's night, before you can even see stars.
Right.
Just go outside
and
look up.
You saying that brings me back to something that I have a friend of mine that lived in Alaska literally for 1 year. 1 year is all he lived there because he couldn't stand it. He lived here his whole life. He moved to Alaska. He met a girl. You know how that story goes. He moved there for her and he lived there for 1 year and had to come back because he couldn't stand it anymore because of the daylight and the nighttime thing. He was not used to it. He couldn't get accustomed to it. But he did tell me the 6 months that he lived there when it was nighttime, or how I can't remember the exact month.
The winter time, it's all night. Summertime, all day.
Yes, it was a certain amount of months, he told me. But anyway, it was nighttime every day, all day for a certain period of time, folks. And he said that they would sit outside all the time because it was daytime. They're outside, okay? It's what you would, the daytime hours, I'll say. And saw so many things in the sky that you would never imagine seeing here because we don't look up enough like you're saying, because that's all they're seeing is nighttime sky. So he's constantly looking, and things that have lights on them, you see it when you're looking, okay? And told me that he saw so much there when he was living in Alaska that you just wouldn't believe it because it's such wide open area and there's so much of it to see. So the Alaska thing, yes, is definitely true, folks. The nighttime, daytime thing, I couldn't survive that either, I don't think, because I just couldn't get used to it. Was there any other questions, Mama Bear, that you had on your little list, or was there?
Yep.
Okay.
There's two. They kind of go together. One is something about cameras on the sun, and where do you watch videos of the sun being sucked of plasma? I don't know if that was a serious
Probably on
question or not.
YouTube.
Yeah, I mean, and it's NASA. A lot of the footage that you would get from that is NASA, and we don't need to go into that. Take it with a grain of salt.
Right.
End of story.
And then the last one that I've okay, yes, is, are there two sexes?
Actually, there's more than even the alphabet community could even make up. When it comes to certain species, just to give you an example of some of these extraterrestrials, they will have I guess what we would call a general female, then they will have a general male, and they will use their genetics to go into what they call an incubator gender, a gender that is just meant to incubate what the first two sexes were. And then they incubate that, and then they put it to the fourth gender, which are the genders that are just meant to reproduce what the first two and what the incubator have put into, and the fourth gender. And then there's a fifth gender that can do neither of the other four genders, and they become scientists, researchers, etc., because they do not take a part of the four parts of procreation.
So I had heard before that extraterrestrial, as far as the sexes go, that there was basically a form of like asexual, like some insects.
There are.
Yeah, where they're both. Okay, if that, for those of you who don't understand what that is, and it was just mesmerizing to me, as in like pregnancy and things like that, how that would work if that was the case. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was something that was brought to me as well.
And the asexual ones would really need to rely off that, that other one that would carry to term and incubate and birth. And some species have deliberately ones that give the birth, then ones that incubate it, and then ones that create the egg or the embryo, the fertilized specimen to put in the incubation, then to be passed on to the ones that carry to birth. And there's even more. I've heard up to about 6 different genders, and what we as human beings are yelling about genders and what we think we are or aren't, we have no clue as a species, and these aliens are laughing at us with us thinking.
Wow.
Like
Trinity, did you have any questions, hon?
I just wanted to say thank you for having me on. I wanted to just chime in on that neutrinos, because a lot of people are not aware that that's directly works with CERN. CERN is what created the internet, which is with ARPA, DARPA. NASA is also NACA before NASA. All of this goes into the black ops. And then you got all the observatories. And what's really crazy is that nobody talks about Arecibo going down, and then China putting up their biggest one called FAST. And if you start watching the observatories and all the craziness that goes on with that, it's also very connected into all of these things. Yeah. You got it, Robert. And I'm going to check out your channel, Robert. I have a channel too, and it's so nice to hear you say that when you don't get views or subscribers, it's not really that it's you as a creator, it's just being shadow banned so badly. It is really hard, but I will not stop either.
Like I said in the beginning, guys, this is looked at as taboo. It's not supposed to be talked about. It's not supposed to be looked into. It's a narrative, just like everything else in our lives, that we're just supposed to accept it for what it is and move forward with our lives.
Yeah.
People that have critical thinking, which is what my channel is based on, don't do that. Critical thinkers can't just say, okay, that's what it is. Thank you, sir, and walk away. It doesn't work that way, folks. Our brains are so much more than what people give them credit for.
That's right.
You look at something and they tell you it's blue, but if you're looking at it, you can tell that it's purple, green, and yellow too. You have to figure that out, folks. You have to be able to allow yourself to do that. You have to allow yourself to explore your own minds, guys. Period.
Yeah. For example, Dago, and what Trinity just said, right? For example, I'm going to put Trinity, I'm going to make her in the middle because she just dropped some amazing knowledge in there, right?
Absolutely.
Dago, my friend Eric taught me this, right? You say that it's raining outside.
Right.
I say it's not raining outside. Trinity's job isn't to pin us against one another, right?
Right.
Our jobs are to take our head outside to see that if it's raining or not, right?
That's right. Yes.
And if we pop our head outside, it's not raining. It's not raining. It means one of us is full of crap.
That's
and
it.
What Trinity was saying, about the views, the people that are getting 40,000, 60,000 views, not all of them, but a big majority of the people in this UFO, alien, spiritual, light, love, whatever bullcrap community, being honest, they're being promoted throughout the top. Their books, all of that, they're great storytellers. Those that are getting tons of views, they're absolute garbage. It's the real everyday normal people like you and everyone that's watching this. You know, and what Trinity was talking about just today, I saw the particle accelerator out over in Geneva, CERN.
Yeah.
They're just starting to talk about muons. I just saw an article today talking about muons. The thing is, I'm working with whistleblowers that have been talking about muons for many years now. And although they say they exist, they're claiming we don't know what they do or how they operate. Blah, 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 blah. We already know.
We're in electromagnetic warfare is what we're in.
That's right.
Directed energy weapons.
Yes.
I'm not fear-mongering.
I know. It's just
But-
honest. They don't want us to know our power or what we could have free power. So they want all
Voice
this
the
to be
skull.
silenced because once we figure this out, then they can't control us anymore. So it's not just about, it's about so much more. It's all about them. It's about money. And if we figure out how to, do all this without them, then they're freaking out.
That great, Mama Bear. Was there more questions or?
I saw a couple people kind of going back and forth. So is Roswell fake or real?
It was a Trojan horse, and there was 2 crafts, not one.
That's right.
It was deliberate to weasel into the trade of technology for human trafficking on a galactic scale. That's it. And there's a lot more before Roswell and a lot more after. And I'm so freaking sick of Roswell. I've been sharing my story with evidence. I thought my story would become the next Roswell. And that's why I realized the fact that my story didn't get the attention that Roswell got happened in 47. Mine happened in 1991. Everyone should be hopping. But the problem is there's still people alive that were involved with my case. And these black projects and the narrative key holders want to wait until I'm dead, wait until all the other witnesses are dead, so they can transform it into what they've transformed Roswell, which is something that meets their narrative. There has been several crashes after and before, but the only reason you only hear about Roswell, I actually had a friend of mine whose grandmother was involved with Roswell, and she witnessed the second craft going down, which the public still just thinks it was just one. And these crafts were deliberately taken down, I guess you would say. I have to be careful with how I say that. But it was a Trojan horse in order to say, hey, this technology is here, and if you work with us, and if you allow us to take mental institution people and prisoners to do our little experiments on and stuff, we'll give you technology for it. And the military complex said, okay. Eisenhower tried to warn everyone. No one cared. JFK tried to warn everyone. We know what happened to him. Marilyn Monroe was about to out. I saw the CIA documents at the Greer event. I got to see Marilyn Monroe CIA documents. She was taken out deliberately because she was going to do what JFK was too afraid to do. She was going to hold an event at the Met Gala exposing all of this. And bye-bye. Oops, too many pills today.
That is insane.
Yeah.
A lot of people already have that ideal as a belief right now, and have for years. And just, again, it's taboo. Absolutely. Go ahead.
Are you aware there's a prehistoric ocean in Nevada as well at Devil's Hole? Now, if you look at that protected area, they don't even know the depth of that ocean there in that area. So Area 51, I think whenever there's protected land you can't get on, that there's probably a deep underground military base, marine base, or neutrino experiment going on. And there's creatures out there that are something, there's a lot going on.
She's right.
Wow.
My
so
little
we're
insider.
Denver, right? Denver has one underneath.
Yeah.
I've heard about that too.
Something. I'm going to tell you guys all, and I'm going to be brief, not get too much into it. But everyone's still there? I just saw the thing pop up.
Oh yeah, we're there. We're here.
Yes. So, my stepfather, I can't say his name or anything. He just retired last year. He worked in Cape Canaveral. All right. NASA, Air Force, Blue Origin, Space Force, SpaceX, etc. He's worked in the underground dome in Cape Canaveral that partially goes out to the ocean, developing about 2 years ago. He is working on the weaponized space station that the public don't know that our taxpayers' dollars are going towards. They're talking about decommissioning the space station in 2034, but you haven't heard a single soul talking about making a new one. It's because we've already made it, and the Space Force has its name. He was the high clearance crane operator putting this together in these deep underground bases, domes, filled with technology and all of that you couldn't imagine. And these bases exist all over, and a lot of we have submarine programs that are able to go from the East Coast through the West Coast, as Trinity was pointing out, through these underground oceans and riverways that go from east to west, and these domes are loosely connected to these areas.
So there's truth behind the statements that have been made about, everybody looks to extraterrestrials as being all up above us coming from the sky, but a lot of people don't get it that it's under the water too, and that it's coming from under the oceans and so on and so forth.
As above, so below, my friend. As above, so below.
And my wife has always referred to the ocean. She has a fear of the depths of the ocean, the deepest depths, where you see these fish that have the lights on their heads and all these things like that.
It's creepy.
It is. I agree with her. It is very weird because it's unexplored. These things, it's so dark down there. Everything adapts to its environment to live. We know that, okay? So to be able to see these things, because we don't, as I said a long time ago, we are afraid of what we don't know or understand. That's just fact. So to know that there's places in our oceans that have never been explored, it makes you wonder what is actually down there, and that's why they're never explored, and so on and so forth. If it's true that they haven't been explored, we'll just say it that way, okay? So again, lots of people, and I've read so many articles about the one article was actually there's more below than above. And so I'm reading this article, and they're stating that there's more alien extraterrestrial life that is in our oceans than what we would believe is in outer space per se. Okay.
Octopus.
Octopi.
Yeah.
Deep
ocean creatures. Yes. That's right. Deep ocean creatures that don't make any sense to us whatsoever. And
when they're alien.
Jet propulsion and invisibility both came from studying squid and octopi.
Exactly.
Thank you very much. So there's a lot to it. By the way, I pulled up what Trinity was talking about the Devil's Hole in Nevada being a prehistoric. Basically, it's considered a prehistoric ocean mass. So there's so much.
I don't think they're protecting pupfish there. I think they're protecting something more. Much more than that.
I'm with you.
Yeah,
and you're welcome to play any of my videos too, Dago. I do a lot of short little videos and stuff, and so I did a quick synopsis on what happened over in Peru, and that's been going on for thousands of years, and there's been documents on that activity over there. So lots of love to those villagers. I mean, they want to say it's all these different things, of course, than what could possibly be happening over there. I just know that whenever there's something else going on, you have to. It's crazy.
Right. So you've heard about Peru and what's going on over there, obviously, because you just explained. Right. It's so crazy. What's your take on what happened in Las Vegas? What do you think that was? As we've heard what Robert thought.
We have not heard anything else from that family, and the fact that they had Homeland Security there. Homeland Security was there. And then they have 16 minutes of redacted footage. And though they blacked out the way that they went in there and didn't show what they saw in the backyard,
Right.
I think this family, because they're not out, yeah, he created a channel, he put his story out, he did his, one video, just one
Right.
video, and they've gone radio silent. I think the fact that Homeland Security was there, the location where it's at, then you look at that Devil's Hole again, and you look at Area 51, and people laugh, oh, aliens went to Vegas. No, it's that area. That area is highly magnified, or something's going on there with the electromagnetosphere in that area, and that pure water that was just showing that pupfish in there, they need that pure water too to run the argon, the Olympic-sized swimming pool tanks, to do the experiments that are searching for the neutrinos, because there's 3 or 4 different flavors of neutrinos, and they're trying to track and trace these things, and they need ultra pure water to do that, and they need gold, which is like a quantum computer.
Yes.
And that's what they have over in China as
Peru?
well.
Monatomic.
Yes. So
And that's what's going on over in Peru, is the gold mines, is where this is being affected.
Yes, and they need that. It's so connected to all of this. It's crazy, and it's hard to believe. Now, this family looked terrified, just like these villagers are terrified. You kind of go by just looking at their reactions. I don't see that family with them all, getting their weapons out and stuff, looking in the backyard. People laugh about, why didn't they get a better video, or there was no good videos of these things. Well, first of all, the way that they are able to be like, I've never seen one, but I'm guessing the like predator type, where they go in and out of our vision or field of vision. And if they are all electromagnetic kind of thing, that's going to mess with technology. So we're never going to get a good video of any of this unless you see it for yourself. You're never going to believe it.
I agree. Which, sadly, I've never witnessed anything. I've never experienced anything. I've never had that happen to me. As I've always, I am a paranormal investigator, and I have been involved in that for multiple years, which in turn, my curiosity has been piqued with this topic for multiple years as well. It always has been. And I'd love to see or hear something. I love hearing stories and seeing different things. Of course, every experience is different. And maybe one day I'll see something, I hope. Mama Bear, were there any more questions at this moment?
Thank you for having me on. I'll drop down, but you're welcome to play my videos. Thank you so much for having me here. I've loved the conversation.
If you'd like to drop
your link.
If we can pull your link, Trinity, I'd love to drop that in the chat.
I'm just saying that if you ever want to show anything, that you're welcome to do so. That's all.
And Trinity, reach out to me as well.
Okay, I will.
I would love to talk more. So
definitely, I will be checking out your channel.
Do you have my email, Trinity?
I don't. Is it in your description of your videos?
Should be on the About page.
Should be, yeah.
Okay.
Yes, if you will,
right.
please send me an email, and therefore we can communicate. And then I would love to definitely check out your channel and so on and so forth, for sure.
Thank you very much. It's been wonderful being on here. Have a great day.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining us today. You have a wonderful day, dear.
Bye,
So, Robert, I have one more other question. So,
excuse me for one moment, guys. Go ahead and carry on. I'll be right back.
Okay. Are they looking for specific DNA or specific blood type?
Wonderful question. And in your question, you clearly, whoever asked that question, understood
no change,
that,
no more.
Yeah, there's a big difference from blood type to DNA. Blood types are irrelevant. Every single blood type is extraterrestrial. Every human being on this planet is extraterrestrial. We all are. None of us are different in that category. Blood types, a lot of times people get hung up on Rh negative and, I'm O positive, Rh negative, I'm an Anunnaki, whatever. It's just ego speaking. None of that matters. DNA is the currency of the universe. And when it comes to DNA, there are certain DNAs that allow certain individuals of extraterrestrials, depending on that species. Certain DNAs may be more valuable to that particular species, and other DNAs may be more valuable to other species of extraterrestrials. There is no wrong. There is no right. There is no DNA or blood type that is greater than another. I know this is going to hurt a lot of people's, oh, I'm RH negative. I'm O positive. Look at me go. But the truth is, we are all, every single being on this planet has an extraterrestrial origin. And depending on that genetic makeup, to certain beings, maybe one person is more valuable to an insectoid mantis being. Maybe one person is more valuable to a reptilianoid being. Maybe one person is more suitable for a humanoid being.
Right.
Maybe one person is more suitable to an amphibious being. Maybe one person is more suitable to a light being.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter. We all have value. We all have worth. And every single human being's genetics, DNA, is extremely valuable. It just may depend on who values that more than others. But at the end of the day, we're all together.
That's right. So you separate the DNA from the blood type because they're not the same.
Yes, they are
So
very
that way
different.
we need to clear that up so people understand that in the chat.
And with blood types, yes, certain blood types may pertain, same thing as genetics. Maybe a certain blood type may work better with certain species more than others. But that doesn't mean that if you're B negative or B positive, that doesn't mean that you're left out of the universal genetic stock. Oh, trust me, you're worth something. And there are probably beings that are using A positive, A negative, B positive, B negative. They're using all of us. Don't worry, you're not excluded. You're being used the same as the RH and the O's, but their
You're
egos.
being used.
Yeah.
It was brought to my attention. My first wife, the mother of my first 3 children, was RH negative. Okay, when we went in the hospital for that scenario, and it was, I didn't know anything about it. I was an 18-year-old kid. We don't know nothing about this kind of stuff back then. And I just thought it was just a different type of blood. It was issues that were with that blood serial and stuff like that. So, okay, I didn't know not much about it, but moving forward, as I got older and started researching more and realized that I'm a critical thinker and look into things more than most people do and so on and so forth, I see that multiple stories on RH negative blood types and the scenario behind it is brought into effect that it's believed to be an extraterrestrial situation. Okay. I don't know if that's fact, folks. Don't take that and run with it. I'm just telling you it's been brought to my attention via multiple stories that have been read and seen and so on and so forth. And I've always been curious about that situation. Is it possible, because people are going to probably think I'm crazy for saying this, and that's okay. Is it possible that something was brought here long ago and integrated with the human DNA in some source, and that's where that came from? Do we know? We don't know. Okay, that's the problem. But it's very interesting to think about and to look into. If you have any time, look up RH negative and the story behind that situation. I'm telling you, it really blew my mind to read that story.
And what, I don't know if you got to hear it, Dago, but what I was just saying, it's not just RH negative and O positive and all that. Every single blood type on this planet is extraterrestrial. The only difference of RH negative, it belongs to a particular species that some may call the Anunnaki, which
the Draconian.
It doesn't matter. They're reptilians. Anunnaki are nothing but reptilians. I've lived in the Middle East for 2 years. I lived in Turkey. I've done a lot of wild things. I'm not going to get into all that, but all blood types. If you're A positive, A negative, B, all that, all the blood types, all extraterrestrial, all of us.
I'm actually type O negative, which I loved when I found that out, because
that's awesome.
I'm a huge, yes, we're exactly.
I love the band.
So am I. I'm the same.
I was a huge fan of type O negative. That's why when I realized my blood type, I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. So yeah.
I was in a signed metal band called I Am History on CI Records with like August Burns Red, Texas in July. I toured a lot with Ice Nine Kills and all that. I was a screamer. Raw! all that stuff. And back in like 2000, like from 2010, 2012, I was really into music, traveling all around CD and stores and all that. I Am History, our album was called Visions. Everyone can look it up on YouTube, but I love metal music, dude.
Me too.
Death metal, huh?
I always have loved metal
heavy.
music. I've been in multiple bands. I'm a drummer since I was 10 years old.
What kind of drums you got?
I have none right now. I have always owned Tama. I'm looking into getting I'm looking into becoming a sellout, as they call it, and getting a digital drum set now and starting to play the electronic type stuff because I'm old. So,
it's easier.
It's a lot easier. Yes, it is on the knees and elbows for sure. So, but yeah, I've been in music for a long time. We love music in here. And like I said, when I realized because when I was a kid, I never knew, my mom never said anything to me. As I got older, I had I had brain surgery back in 2000. And of course, I had to find out my blood type then. And they said, well, your blood type is type O negative. And I about lost a grip right there, getting ready to have brain surgery. I'm like, you're kidding me. That's so cool, because of who type O negative was. So it was just one of them things, big fan of Pete Steele and all that. And I just love this stuff. But moving forward, I've always been interested in our human DNA and blood types as they stand and how and where that actually comes from, guys. And we can go into the biblical stories and stuff like that and read into that. But, we watch a lot of these things on Ancient Aliens and read these stories about this, that, and all this other stuff. Right, exactly. And what stories are we to believe? What stories are we to know? What is the, as we call it nowadays, the true narrative behind everything, and where did we come from as a species, as a race? You know what I mean? And it makes you want to look at everything you can to answer those questions, in my opinion. I always have. But yeah, definitely.
Fun fact, I was a pastor. I went to Bible college. I became an ordained pastor. Then I ended up going to the Middle East, studying Islam, going to mosque, doing the prayers, and studying ancient Sufism. And I've studied so many things. I just went down the line. No religion could ever give me what I was truly seeking. And now I've just learned to use the light in all of them and to think for myself.
That's awesome. That is absolutely awesome. This has been awesome having you on here. I really do appreciate this. Mama Bear, do we have any other questions that have popped up?
Yes. And Molly wanted me to remind you about her videos.
I absolutely know. I know. I'm bringing those down towards the end of the stream so that we can enjoy that completely. So yeah, I just wanted to get all the questions and stuff like that out.
All right. One of them is, are there aliens walking among us?
Absolutely.
Yep.
And a lot of us are Nephilim. We're tall giants. And there's some short ones too. I mean, it's not like human. The problem is, like, a lot of people, I've had a lot of interviews. All of you just watch the 3 parts of my documentary. And when everyone will watch that, I've done a lot of interviews talking about the UFO crash story and my mother's hybrid things. And everyone always asks me, are you a hybrid? From everything you're saying, it really sounds like you're a hybrid. I refuse to answer that question. And I answer that question when people do ask me. I say, we're all hybrids. So the fact
a good point.
We
all very well could be, folks.
No, not could be.
Yes.
We are.
We are.
We are. Even if you go back to the biblical pastor speaking here, you want to know why the rib of Adam was used? Because the ribs hold the highest percentage of human DNA. Why was a rib extracted from Adam to create Eve? It's because the rib holds the highest amount of DNA extract. Oh
wow.
We're all created. We're all created. And I don't even believe in the story of Adam and Eve personally. But at the end of the day, every single living being on this planet comes from somewhere else in this galaxy. Stars collide into each other and create supernovas, which create more stars and additional planets with additional life forms. We are all extraterrestrial, every single being on this planet, even our puppies, our cute little dogs, and us. We're all
Absolutely.
ETs.
Absolutely.
And once we understand that, we can overcome our, sometimes understanding what we are can help us overcome some of the things we think and our judgments about others. Once we as a species realize what we are, we would be more accepting to others, not just others throughout the galaxy, but insects. I love insects. Sometimes I'll let an ant just walk on my finger. I try not to kill insects or anything like that because they're a living creature. It's very important to me. And, we're all connected. We are nothing but ants and a massive
We're energy, right?
source
Yep,
energy. That's
that's
creator,
right.
source energy, God, Allah, Vishnu, Quetzalcoatl. I don't care what people call their God. As long as you realize that there is a greater source of energy, being that has created all of us, we're all in the same boat, regardless of what you think it is. So that's what it's all about, just understanding creation.
It begs the question, you guys, is that the key? Is that the key to unlocking and opening the door to all of this and making it okay? Is that the key? You know what I'm saying? It's just saying, okay, then, I'll accept that maybe this is what's actually the real thing and this is what it's all about. You know what I mean? I know I sound kind of philosophical right now, but I'm just saying, is it really what it is, guys? I mean, if you think about it, is that the key to all of this?
You sound like a wise man, Dago.
I mean, I do a lot of
Manifestation, right?
I do a lot of thinking.
Manifestation.
I do a lot of thinking and a lot of reading. So I'm sorry not to sound out there, folks, but is it that the key right there? Will that unlock all of this and move forward? And I believe in it's I've been involved in multiple conversations about higher elevations of our intellect and the third eye and all these other variations of things that are talked about. Okay, I have a lot of insight into that, and it's very interesting for those of you that are not involved or haven't looked into that. Check it out, guys. It just takes a little bit of time, and I promise you, once you look into it, you won't look out of it because there's a lot to it. I do have some stuff here from one of our awesome moderators, Miss Molly Drake. She's got an amazing channel, by the way. It's called Molly Drake. You got to check out some of the stuff she's put out there, guys. I have a live video from this area. Molly, is it okay to put out there where this is actually from, or do you just want me to go kind of round about the area? I don't want to give away any information if you don't want me to before I play anything. That's all I want to know before I do this. And I can't see your answer, so you're going to have to respond through Mama Bear, I think.
I have one last question, though. Why now?
Why now what?
Because we're all waiting.
Why now do they want to introduce us to the alien races?
Because I think we're waking up, folks. That's why.
The government or them?
The government.
Oh, that's a loaded question. we'll be talking for hours.
I think people, in a synopsis of it, to shorten everything, I think people are waking up. Okay, I think people are woke, in a sense, if you want to call it that. I think people are seeing things and understanding things that have never been seen and understood before, and have questions. What, why, where is this? What is that? What's this all about? You got to give answers somewhere, because people don't have patience anymore and don't want to wait and don't want to just take no for an answer. And I think that's it, is that human beings are waking up to these things and they have to do something about it. And
complacency has went right into the garbage can. That's it.
That's a fact. And they've given us the technology to look at all this. They've given us the World Wide Web, the internet. They've given us
their own comes from.
Bingo. Okay.
That's where it comes from.
And there's a lot of disinformation in that technology because they are the ones providing it. You really think they would give us the internet and not put a bunch of landmines in there to throw us off course?
Makes a lot of sense, folks.
Yeah.
All of our favorite YouTube creators, all the people you see on TV, you really think they would give us all this without throwing a couple speed bumps in there?
We got to definitely have some. Yeah, they throw a couple bones. That's for sure. That's for sure. Did Molly answer you, Bear?
She said yes.
I can allow it to be told where it's at. Okay, guys, this is again coming from the lovely Molly, and her channel again is Molly Drake. This is out of Idaho Falls, Idaho. As much as we don't like to say that name, and this is all recorded from herself personally, guys. The stuff that we're going to be looking at here. In fact, let me go into this here, and some of these you got to look. Okay. Hold on a minute here. Let me make sure this is all loaded up for you guys. Let me take that down for a minute and re-add this. And again, Robert, I want to thank you for joining us today. This has been absolutely wonderful. And please know that you always have an open invitation here at any time for anything we do. I'm going to be doing a lot more of this type of stuff, folks, than what we typically have done, because there seems to be a huge interest in this. And I think this is the best way to get it out is by what we're doing right now. So. All right, guys, let me make sure you guys have audio.
Yeah, thank you, Robert. It was a pleasure.
1,000%.
I really appreciate it. Well, I'm going to hop off of here. I'm working on a video right now. I was doing a lot of editing and stuff for my channel and all that. But
yes, and we do have your link out here. We'll be sending everybody over to show some love over there and subscribe to that channel and get this out there. And show you the respect you deserve, my friend.
Yeah, and please reach out. I would love to come on and tell you the story of what's not in the videos and all that anytime. And I really appreciate you guys taking a chance to share this and keep an open mind, listen to everything. And you got an amazing group of people, amazing questions, everyone in this chat. Much love to you all. Know thyself, use discernment, and follow what's in your heart. That's the only way we can navigate this wild, crazy, batshit world that we're in right now. That's the only way we win, brother. And I really appreciate it. So I'm going to head out. I'm going to continue working on that. And I hope everyone has a great night. And it's been a pleasure being on here. So I'll see you all next time.
All right, Robert. You have a wonderful rest of your day, my friend. And I can't wait to get in touch with you and do this again.
Absolutely. Thank you, brother.
Yes, sir. Take care.
Dago, I'm going to drop down too. Thank you for having me up. And there's a lot more people awake than everybody truly understands.
That's what it's all about, guys. I know I sound like Preacher Dago sometimes when I talk, but I'm a little smarter than a lot of people give me the credit for. And I read so much, and I have.
I know you are. I know you're smart.
And I don't mind sharing it with everybody that's around me. I really don't. In fact, I need to share it because there's so much in here. I have to get it out. You know what I mean? So
thank you.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you for joining me, Chains. And Mama Bear, you're still here. That's awesome.
Yep.
It's been a great show so far, guys, and I really appreciate it. And like I said, I want to bring this down towards the end here and share some really amazing stuff that Molly has personally put together for us over a period of time. Like I said, Molly is very interactive with these things and what goes on, and has a very open mind, if you know what I'm saying. Okay. And enjoy the videos. She's very talented. And if you have questions on these, you're gonna have to say it to Mama Bear because I can't see it, but we will answer whatever questions we can. All right, let's do this thing, folks.
Hey, Popper.
What's up, Popper? I can't see you, but what's up? I wish I could. All right, here we go. I love her music. Okay, pay attention out here, folks. See the white light out here? Watch. This is right outside of her house, you guys.
So messed up.
What'd you say, hon?
I said that is just so messed up.
And don't tell me that is a shooting star, a meteor, any of that, because it's going at the pace it's going. Okay, meteor's not going to go that slow. Neither is a shooting star. The sun don't do that. And I've never seen any type of a flying vehicle that looks like a ball of light. I'm sorry. And this is right outside her door that she's taking these photos in this video, folks. That is interesting. I'm sorry. And again, this is plain old Idaho Falls, Idaho, guys, out in farm country, as you can see.
Yep, somebody said crystal technology, and then somebody else asked if it was crystal energy.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm. No, that was on our security camera.
Mm-hmm. Idaho summer 2022.
North Carolina Mountain Man gave you $1.99. He said, making it rain for the aliens.
Thank you, my friend. You are so appreciated. Here we go again, folks. Look closely. Molly's really good at doing these videos and showing you what you got to see. Mm-hmm. Tell me what that is, guys, because that's not any type of a plane or helicopter I've ever seen either. This happens all the time out here, by the way, you guys. This is not just something that happens every so often. She sees this stuff constantly.
Yeah, she does.
And we've known about this for months, you guys. Months. She brought this to our attention months ago. Another great one. By the way, I received something via Amazon today, so I have to thank whoever sent this.
Oh, wow.
A new soundboard from Amazon from the wish list, so thank you, whoever did that. Okay, this one is very interesting to me, you guys. If you can see it. Check that out. You tell me what that looks like to you, because it sure as hell don't look like any kind of a thing I've seen. If you look, okay, the darkness shades the full size of whatever this is, okay, as Molly explained this to me too, but you can see it seems to be the full length of right here. Mm-hmm. Maybe more, but all we can see are the lights that we can see. Whatever it is, it's big, okay, and it's definitely not an airliner, commercial airliner. It's not a helicopter. Like I said, this is real shit, folks. These are real photos from Idaho.
What? Cowboy said, are there face peelers in Idaho? I don't know what that means, but
the Palladian race they were talking about before. Molly said their dog was scared to go outside. I can understand why. There was zero sound either. You'd imagine something that large in the sky is going to make some sort of a sound, right?
Mm-hmm. Trinity gave you a super chat for $4.99. Said, thank you for having me on your panel. This is a great show. And Molly said the camera did not show how big it was and no clouds at all in the sky.
Right. So again, what do we have going on here, guys? What do we have going on here? This is insane to me. I'm sorry. But Trinity, thank you for being on the show. You're welcome at any time. I hope you know, and I hope you do come back. We're going to be doing more of these more often because it's something that needs to be done. Nothing was moving, she's stating in here. What was it? What is it? I'd like to know that myself. kind of hard to see. If we could get something to clean it up, you know, it would give us obviously a better look at it. Very large and silent, slight V shape. Lights were blinking out of sync in red and white. Interesting. See, she was trying to clean it up as best she could too, and it just didn't happen.
Yeah, she said this one, I wish the camera would have picked up more. It was huge. 2 triangles.
It was 2. Wow. Interesting. See, she's showing you the, it's hard to see it all, but she's showing you the, it's crazy. And it's such a wide open area out there, like that makes sense. Again, guys, you got to check her channel out. She's got all this stuff and more. It's called Melly Drake, and you can see it right there. We will drop the link for you guys to check it out. January 31st of 2022, Idaho Falls, Idaho Falls, not foes. Here we are again. And you see the dates, guys. It's not that far apart. It happens quite often, guys. Looks like a giant Cheerio in the sky.
Mm-hmm.
And you see the movement, or non-movement for that matter. Makes me want to take a vacation to Idaho Falls and hang out with Molly and her husband, so I can film some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
See, this looks like what we saw in the first video, that big light ball during the nighttime. This is February 8th of 2022.
Thanks again, Robert, for hopping up and telling us everything that you did.
Yes. Such a great show today. And it was so unexpected. It worked out well. But now I will be able to reach out to Robert and we can set other things up this way. I appreciate that. And it wasn't him. It was, what's her name that reached out to him for us. So we are eternally grateful for you. Blue Light, I think it was.
Yeah. I was like,
February
blue.
10th. Blue Light. Yes, Blue Light. Lisa, he called her. So thank you, Lisa. We appreciate you more than you know. It's great to have you here as part of the family, by the way. See, these are within days of each other, folks. And it's the same thing. Like I said, it's vast fields out in this area. It's a rural area, so there's plenty of room to see what you got to see. And like I said, Molly tells us all the time that she sees these things on a regular. And if you can't tell how talented she is, she does all this stuff herself. Molly's the one that actually put together my intro and everything. So here's another good one. I think this is kind of like the other one we saw. Right at dusk. But again, see the size of it. Saw a flash from inside the house. We went outside to look, and this is what we saw. And it looks a lot bigger. It's a lot bigger than what it looks like in here. Yeah, this is a repeat of the other one, I'm guessing. They must have overlaid Molly and doubled up. Let me see here. Okay, this one's different here. Look at this stuff, guys.
The fuck is that? It's literally moving. Slowly. Hello, slowly. See if I can't focus and just relax. Where'd it go?
Molly said her son recorded this one.
I have no clue what the hell that is. But they're getting brighter.
That's weird.
Good evening.
A relaxing, sleepy story. We don't want to put me to sleep. Do that well enough. I'm on. You're muted.
Again, thank you, Molly, darling. That is so very much appreciated. More than you know, dear. Now I got to find something here to bring myself back over here. Because my StreamYard hasn't moved once.
Mine hasn't either.
This is ridiculous. Completely ridiculous. CJ had this problem last night, I think. Hold on, folks. Here we go. That's the only way I can see it. Okay. How many people we got in? Okay. Still got quite a few. Now the YouTube chat is flying.
Mm-hmm.
God Lord. Okay, come on here. Looks like Trinity did. Yes, Trinity dropped the $4.99 super sticker.
Mm-hmm.
Super chat. And I am super duper thankful for that, Trinity. And again, just so you know, you are welcome here at any time. 1 second. All right, hold on here. 1 second here. 1 second here. Let me get these things loaded back in. 1 second here. All right. Thank you so very much, Trinity. Again, and I noticed there was another one somewhere up through here. North Carolina, man. Thank you for that, my friend. All right, all right. Let me take this out and bring it back. All right. Yeah, welcome everyone. I got it up to there. You are so welcome, Trinity. Blue Flame, again, thank you. You were welcome to join us today too, but maybe next time. I'd love to have you on panel as well because you've had your experience as well. And Great stuff today, folks. Great stuff. Seriously. And guys, if you will, thank you, Heather. Please go over and subscribe to Mr. Robert Earl White. He was our guest today on the show. Great stuff, folks. Seriously. And I am so appreciative that he was here. Very much so. Also, again, if you will, please subscribe to our lovely Miss Molly Drake. Her channel is amazing. There's a link for that as well. And Molly, thank you so very much for what you do for us every single day and what you bring to us and bring to this table here, guys. That's why I tell her all the time, as I do all of you, that she is, as is everybody else, a very important part of this family. Otherwise, we couldn't do what we do, guys. And that's a fact. Thank you for that, Heather. Oh, you have anything that you would like to say? Are you still here, Bear? Maybe not. Mama Bear.
Oh, sorry. What's up?
Did something put you to sleep?
No, I was talking to my daughter.
Oh, I was going to say, I hope we didn't put you to sleep. I was going to say, do you have anything to add or anything with this at all?
I don't think so. It's interesting.
Right. Another thing that Molly's throwing up there for a great link. And there's going to be so much more of this to come, folks, just so you guys know. I thought I would try this out today to see how everybody related to it. I did a poll on this to check to make sure this is what you guys wanted. You all voted on it. And we got quite a decent amount of people in here on this today. So
yeah,
the more, the better. Next time, maybe the same time next week, we'll go into it again.
And those that had questions that we didn't get to, just hop over to Robert's.
Yes, Rob over there. He's definitely got a place where you can ask him whatever you want. He's completely available. He's very open to all this, very friendly, and just a very awesome guest to have today, guys. Thank you once again, Blue Flame Integration, for you take your part in bringing that here to us. That just worked out perfectly. I mean, perfectly. So
yeah. Noni just wants her Judy Jetson mobile.
What's that?
Noni just wants her Judy Jetson mobile.
Oh, there you go. There you go. It may happen, Noni. You never know. All right, Miss Heather is. I can't see. It won't come back over. Why do I have to keep? Hold on a second. If this drops.
I can't find my videos.
If this drops. Just bring it. Just hold the phone for a minute, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Yep, it dropped. I'm holding the phone, guys. Just like he said. And he's back.
All right. Is it gonna work now?
No.
I'd pop up sometime. I love true crime. Your channel has the most integrity in this community. Well, thank you so very much. I appreciate that. And again, yes, Molly is correct, Mr. Robert White. Thank you so much. You made the day go by great. I mean, this has all been amazing. Absolutely amazing. So much more than I expected, and it worked out perfectly. I'm sorry that the StreamYard is not working, guys. There must be something going on because, like I said, CJ had problems yesterday. A couple other channels, Drunk Turkey was having problems. So something's going on with StreamYards. I don't know what it is.
I wonder if they're doing an upgrade or something.
Who knows? But they need to do it and be done with it and get it over with.
Right.
For sure. So again, everyone, thank you once again for joining us today for this Sci-Fi Friday. I want to believe, and I really do, especially now. Great show today. Great show today. Thank you all so much for being part of this. Mama Bear, thanks for being able to jump in and help.
Yeah, no problem.
Molly, thank you for all of your stuff as always. Again, Robert Earl White, thank you. Blue Flame, thank you for your participation. Again, Heather, thank you for that. Anybody that's donated to that today or has donated in the past to the Venmo, PayPal, and Cash App, thank you so very much for that. That is what keeps our channels rolling. That's a fact. I come out to you guys every day because of that. So thank you for that. Absolutely, Carol. That is correct. He definitely had some good points and answered some really good questions. And next time, guys, if I can set it up, I'll do it ahead of time. Give you guys forewarning. He said he'd love to come in here and tell us the story that he didn't put in the video.
Mm-hmm.
I personally would love to hear that myself. I'm sure you all would as well. And some other things we can add to this as well. Besides that, guys, I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day. If I don't see you over the weekend, I will see you Monday, but I'm sure you'll see me somewhere this weekend. I promise you that. Thank you all so very much for what you do. Dolphin, by the way, welcome to the family. Welcome to the team. It's great to have you as part of the moderating crew.
Yep.
Oh, okay, Dolphin, no problem. And all the rest of you guys, like I said, have a wonderful rest of your day. A great weekend if I don't see you, but I'm sure I will. Take care of yourselves. Don't forget to love yourselves and love each other. Don't change a thing about yourselves, because you are all the beautiful people. Stay real, folks. It's the best way to be. I love you all, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys. Have a great weekend. Have a great week. I'll see you guys next Thursday. Bye.